What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday night edition of The Awakening World. I'm your host, Love Coach Scott Katamas, and we have a really wonderful show tonight. We have so many people that I really respect who are really leaders in the fields of consciousness and awakening. Really, truly, every one of them is somebody that's all about this awakening world. And we are collaborating tonight with a wonderful organization called Portal to Ascension. And the founder, Neil Gar, is with us. Good old buddy, Alan Steinfeld, is with us. And I'm going to bring them on for a moment just so you can say hello. And we're going to talk to them in a moment. Where's Alan? There he is. So we're going to hear from Alan, we're going to hear from Neil, we're going to learn about the live events that they've got going. And they've invited some of their absolute favorite people. Geraldina Roscoe is with us. Lori Wheeler is with us. Michelle Anderson is with us. Lori Spagna is with us. And amazing music. I'm looking forward to hearing her. I just heard a little bit in the sound check, and she's amazing. Phyllis Ann, also known as Vox Angelina, and one of our absolute favorite recording artists and guests. She's a co-host frequently on the show, Larissa Stowe. Where are you, Larissa? There she is. I was looking everywhere. Where's Larissa? There she is. And of course, our beloved brother Omar Shah is going to be with us, providing amazing music. So we've got a really exciting show tonight. And we're going to hear from these people. We're going to learn a lot about what's going on in the field of consciousness. Now, I want to welcome all of you who are watching. And it's wonderful that we've got a lot of our friends and family, about 60 of us in the Zoom room. But most of you are watching us on Facebook, or perhaps on Alan Steinfeld's YouTube channel, or on the Conscious Awakening Network. Those are all wonderful ways to be with us, but it's much better to be in the Zoom room. That's where we're providing lots of links. That's where you can chat with the other presenters or with other members of the Global Peace Tribe. So I'm inviting you, if you're watching on Facebook or YouTube, come join the Global Peace Tribe. It's really easy to do that. Just go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and click where it says register for the new season. And when you go there, you can also learn more about who we are and what we do. We do 3 or 4 shows every week. And they all are bringing you amazing people like you just saw, inspired leaders. Some of them are famous and well-known, and some are the next generation. And tonight's one of those shows where we have a lot of next generation luminaries with us. Wednesday night, we did a really fascinating show about how to contact to higher intelligence, higher planes of existence. And a lot of people have already had magical experiences as a result of that. Here's tonight's show, Traveling the Globe with Portal to Ascension. And then tomorrow we are going to be talking about angels, aliens, and altered states with Beth Bell, best-selling author, and Eostar Kamala. So those are examples of our shows. That's what we're doing this week. Join us. It's easy, and you'll get the links for all of our shows for the next 4 months. I've committed to doing this all the way through till the end of June. So please join the Global Peace Tribe. We've got a big retreat coming up in Los Angeles at the end of March, the end of this month, and other exciting things going on. All right. I am going to bring back Neil and Alan because these guys are tireless in all that they do. Alan, of course, is the creator of New Realities. It's an incredible YouTube channel where a lot of the best leaders in the whole Making Contact New Thought field show up. And he's the author of Making Contact, which is the book, the anthology where most of the significant voices in the UFO, ET, UAP field express what's going on. And then the man of the hour, Neil Arcturus. He is the founder of Portal to Ascension. And tonight we are celebrating Portal to Ascension, what they have done, what they're doing. So welcome, guys.
Well, thank you, Scott. Thank you so much. I've gotten together with Neil because we were doing solo acts and I saw what Neil was doing, and he was doing a much bigger thing than, I was just doing my little YouTube, there's Making Contact. But I thought if we joined forces, we agreed, and let's just make what Neil's big vision, and which goes together with my big vision, even bigger. So that's what we're all doing. We're joining communities together. The Awakened Tribe, the Global Peace Tribe, Portal to Ascension, New Realities, and we're linking forces so we form a synergy. That's my version. So collective vision, Neil has created me and Michelle and everyone, and we're building something that hasn't been built before. And this is what's so exciting. The unknown awakes our discovery. That's my little piece.
Yes, I agree 100% with Alan. And I am just beyond excited, not only for what we're creating, but the exponential energy that is being cultivated. Just to talk about conferences on these topics. Michelle and I had a conversation on the phone a few days ago about how many things are being created. And it's almost like they're anything that was holding anything back has now been taken away, and everybody is fully going into this awareness even more so. People are creating more gatherings, and we're tapping into the awareness that the universe is an abundant place and there's more than enough for everyone. And so that's what's happening with Alan, myself, and a lot of other platforms, Disclosure Fest, conscious collaboration, really coming together to realize that why are we doing this work? We're doing this work so that we can create some real change on Earth and all live in harmony with ourselves first, and then the external reflection is the whole planet. And that's what, Alan and I, Alan's honestly, when I think of Alan, I want to cry sometimes because Alan has become such a close person to me. We spent 2 months together over here in Mexico, and what we've created, oh my God, I can't even, it's just so beautiful. And I'm just excited to share it with the world.
Wow.
Well, the other thing I just want to add is that this is catching on. People don't have community. The people out there, what do they call in the Harry Potter, the muggles? They're looking for what we have and they know it's exciting. So we're getting more people joining. And what are they doing? And I see these faces practically every day. They're like my daily visions of this global community. And other people want to be excited about what we're excited about, because if you're in that world out there, there's not that much to be excited about, but except what we're doing, a little chauvinistic like that. But I do think we're helping to take the planetary civilization to another level. At least that's my intention. So,
I think a lot of it too is that by whether it's on my show, your events, the more that we hear about magic, about miracles, about abundance, the more that we hear about transcendence and awakening consciousness, the more we all believe it and the more we all experience it. That's how life on this planet works. Whether, it's the 100th monkey or whether it's the 4-minute mile, which are two famous examples of that. And so our platforms are really helping people to believe that truly there is a beautiful, positive awakening happening. The other thing that I really appreciate is I grew up in LA in the entertainment industry, which is very competitive. But boy, especially since the pandemic, there's no competition. We all collaborate, we all support each other, we all work together. And there isn't that sense of competitive scarcity that exists in so many other parts of the world. It's beautiful how everybody, whether it's the three of us or Michelle Anderson or Larissa Stowe or Lori Wheeler, we're all finding ways to collaborate with each other, and it's very exciting.
Yeah, I agree, brother. We all have different pieces of the puzzle that we're contributing, and together we're making an amazing jigsaw puzzle of beauty and creation, right? Like it's really exciting because this is the greatest story ever told. Alan was alluding to the fact that like this is so interesting compared to what else is going on in the world, and what we're really discussing here, beyond UFOs, beyond consciousness, is also our true history. The true history of humanity as we're unfolding and realizing that we are so much more, we've been advanced in the past. And when we go into our history, we even go to our galactic history. Where do we come from? How did we get seeded? Why do we have amnesia? It's the greatest story ever told. We're like piecing together the fragmented parts of who we are. And as we do that, we're going to have full remembrance. I really feel like that if there's a one thing that I could say this is all about, is remembrance of who we are, where we came from.
Yeah, and the thing that's so good about what we're doing this year is the live events. A lot of us was at the Conscious Living Expo. So good to see someone, hug them. And that's what we're doing, the Portal to Ascension in San Diego. We're going to come together and hug each other and love each other, because this is great. This has been the glue that kept the community together. But then we really want to come together because we are physically embodied and we want to experience that. So,
it's true. It felt so good. I don't know. We probably had 100 hugs, at the expo. It was great. I want to just remind everybody in the Zoom room, I'm going to really try and get to your comments. There's a lot of beautiful comments already. We've got people from all over the world joining us, from Ecuador to Australia, Santa Barbara. And I'm going to just read two comments. Reverend Jeffrey said, human creativity just found a way to make sand into batteries. And that's one of the things that's kind of fun about the Awakening World, is we have a very lively global peace tribe that's always sharing new breakthroughs. And Dia Therese just wrote, this is such a huge show. Welcome, Neil and Alan. Thank you from the deepest depths of my heart. Scott and Omashar putting this all together, sharing all the gifts and talents. I'm excited. And we're excited too. Now, Saturday night. Oh, go ahead, Alan.
I want to acknowledge you because your dedication to this community is unwavering. I mean, you may be exhausted some weeks, but you go on with the show. The show must go on. And that's been so important for the last 2 years. So thank you. I'm just thanking you personally.
Oh, thank you, Alan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I am proud of our consistency. And next month we'll be at 3 years, 3 full years that we've been doing this. So it's exciting. And you know what keeps it going for me? I love all these people. Like I'm looking out, oh my God, there's Larissa Stowe. Oh my God, there's Michelle Anderson. And then what's exciting is I get to meet new people. Wow, Vox is really cool. So it's like, I'm meeting new cool people and seeing people I love from before. So it's, and speaking of people that I love, Omashar has become such an incredibly important part of the Global Peace Tribe. He's here for every show. He's my co-pilot. And so we're going to start tonight's show because it's Saturday night. We've got some wonderful music planned and spoken word with Neil. But we're going to turn it over to Omashar for an opening song.
Hey, brother. And Scott and Neil, I say ditto completely. And as to what you just said, I used to be a space cadet, but now I'm a starship commander.
That's right.
And actually, what Alan was saying, I was conditioned to be a muggle. And then along came an owl and told me, no, you're not. And I thought, okay, I'm going to go with that one. So this is a contemplative piece. Let's just drop in to the center of our heart. So this can be a heart-led evening. And I'm just going to press a couple of buttons here, going to disappear, and let's go. The song is called We Feel lost in a sea of illusion, feeling so alone, lost on a wave of confusion. Where do you turn? Flow with the tide of completion. Know the reason why. Drink in the waters of healing and be healed. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up. And we know deep inside of us we've got a friend. And we remember the design of our lives. We remember the desire in our hearts. And we feel love. And we feel love. Dive into the depths of your being. Know that all is well. And dive into the deepest ocean and see the truth. And cast off the cover of darkness. Free yourself from fear. And show that you're ready and willing to make the change. We're coming home to the part of us that's waking up. And we know deep inside of us
Looks like Eleanor has a boyfriend now.
we've got a
Eleanor has been in the show by herself all this time. Either that or a relative, but yeah, he's been with her the last couple of years. And he has a lot of land. He's doing a
the
lot.
design of our lives. We remember the desire in our hearts, and we feel love, and we feel love. Love.
Going to gallery view, everybody. Let's give Omashar some wonderful twinkles. What a perfect opening song. Absolutely perfect. Brother, I know that you created this beautiful video and I kept it on you as long as I could, but I had to go.
I know, I know, I know. Just to see all the faces is absolutely heartwarming.
Yeah, it is.
Thank
It's
you,
always
Scott.
wonderful to see our family. I love that song. It's just beautiful, beautiful. And a reminder, everybody, we can support Omashar by going to Bandcamp. Go to omashar.bandcamp. That's where his albums live. And if you don't have them yet, please get some. Thank you, Omashar. Beautiful start to the show. Thank you. I'm going to bring my buddy Alan Steinfeld up. I'm not going to tell the story because you've all heard it a million times, but Alan and I go all the way back to 1989, where he thought he was on vacation in Maui, and I plucked him out of vacation, and he became the AD on a movie that I was making. So we go way back, and we were both wrestling because we both really wanted to introduce this next person because we love her so much. But I'm going to allow Alan to have the pleasure.
Always shaking me out of my little cave, Scott. I was living in a cave in Maui, and the film crew shows up and say, "You want a job?" I said, "I just can't." But anyway, it's our past, our legacy. But
Actually, Alan Steinfeld.
Hey, everybody, remember to keep yourselves muted. We've had some people. It's wonderful hearing your comments.
That's fine. I don't care.
Somebody needs to mute.
I was just going to say that song that Omashar did is a great introduction to the next guest here, because she is the heart. If I haven't seen Michelle in a couple of years, I run into her. It's like we just saw each other, and there's so much energy. And she reminds me and all of about feeling. It's not about intellectualization. That's great. And I really want to understand the UFO phenomenon by intellectualizing, but it's about feeling. It's about dropping in. So she is really the heart of this community. And that is why that's such an introduction to you, Michelle. I'm so happy you're here to join us. So please.
Thank you so much, Alan. I was feeling the depth of love within this community with Omashar's song, really, really surrendering to the fact that we know that everyone here, everyone in the room, everyone watching, we feel such a sense of family resonance with everyone. And it's really getting stronger and stronger as we come into this. People are starting to say it, conscious collaboration without competition. I like to go one step further and say without copyrights as well, because I think that we're all here for the greater good for all. And it's time for us to give up ownership of anything that's mine. It is yours, individualized, but we're all a part of the collective. And I love what Larissa's doing with the Weevolution. It's really bringing us all into that awareness that the way through these times is by collaborating and connecting with each other. And it feels just so important to say that as each person rises in their own sense of self, we all rise. We do it together. So nobody has more than another. We all have our piece to the puzzle, and that's the beauty of this community. Scott, I can't thank you enough for bringing us together tonight and all of the nights that you bring so many people together through connecting visually and in feeling, and knowing that in San Diego, when we're together again with Portal to Ascension, that feeling of hugging each other just is times 10 or 1,000 when we're together. And Scott, when I ran into you in the hallway at Conscious Life Expo, I had never met you in person before. I was like, wow, you're taller than I realized, and how perfect that hug was.
It was like one of the greatest hugs of my life, Michelle. Thank you so much.
I didn't want to break away. I just felt like we were just passing each other in the hallway, and it was this moment of, this is our first time we get to hug each other. And then, every time I would see Alan in the hallway, I just want to kiss on him, and he's my brother, and same with Neil and Lori Spagna. And, Lori Spagna and I had a time where we giggled so much. It was like being in high school again. It was like a sisterhood in high school. And she was laughing so much that it made everybody around us laugh. Her laughter is infectious. And, the feeling there, I have goosebumps just talking about it. And right before we went live tonight, talking with Geraldine and with Lori and seeing Vox, I and Larissa, and just like my senses are on this heightened feeling of joy because I know what's coming, and we're making this happen. We're making this great leap in consciousness. It's us doing it, but we can't do it by ourselves. We have to do it together. We're leaping. It's like we're taking hands and jumping into the deep end, jumping into the unknown. But the unknown is what we're creating. So we can visualize and feel it and bring it into being. So when we do, Alan, you were talking about before we went live that you had an intense day today there was a lot of emotion flowing. And one of the things that I'm noticing right now, I had an intense week. I just put my mother on hospice. And, this is part of life, the cycles of life. We're born and we know the clock starts ticking till we transition. And what I love about this community is that we support each other and that we know that we're never alone. We always can reach out to each other. And if one's down, we can be lifted from another. And if we see somebody is feeling the emotional drag of some of the density of being in the body, we just reach into this community and we're uplifted again.
Yeah. No, there's the community, Michelle, and there's the love and the connection. And then we also have to go back into the other world and deal with that and hopefully be a bridge.
Mm-hmm.
The joy that's possible. And that's why I love sharing, events with you and doing all that, because we remind each other and everyone else what is possible, because a lot of the world doesn't see what's possible, right?
I had a talk earlier today with somebody about how sometimes we can get pulled down in the muck again. We're human. We're in human form. We're in the density of Earth, but it's such a beautiful place to be. If you look around, I saw Scott's Facebook post about the snow in Sedona, and there are people that are having so much snow that they're in danger. And I hope that through this broadcast tonight, we could all focus our intentions together that we're going to send our love and our light to those people who are stuck in the snow, who may be running, maybe not having electricity or running out of food. I heard from one of my friends up in Nevada City that it's very grim up there, that their roads can't be plowed. But together, I feel like everybody here on this Zoom tonight, on this together, that we can help send some of our light to those areas. And that's what we do when we're together. We can, I think, amplify and step into that healing, that feeling of healing, to send that to all areas that need it. I do like to do that a lot on the water with the dolphins. And somebody in the chat earlier was writing about some of the planetary shifts that are happening, and knowing that Pluto is going into Aquarius for the next 20 years on 32323. Think about that. What a code right there. Awakening Code Radio is my radio show with Eric Rankin. And I kept hearing 32323. Why am I hearing 32323? I didn't know what it was. I don't really follow astrology all that much. But we're going to be on the water with the dolphins and the whales here in Orange County to usher in that Aquarian energy, which is really group consciousness, unity consciousness, really holding the whole world in our hearts. So I hope everybody here will think about what they're going to be doing on 323 and add their energy and their light, maybe go to a body of water to connect in with all of us and just have that intention with us that we are shining a light with our magnificent love to all places in the world that need that healing and that loving feeling.
You know, Michelle, this thing that's happening on March 23rd is so significant. My friends, the Twin Ray, and I have been talking a lot about it. And as they started to explain what it means and why it's so significant, I decided to dedicate an entire show. So 2 weeks from tonight, the entire show is going to be just the Twin Ray talking about this equinox that's about to happen and the March 23rd event of Pluto going from Capricorn into Aquarius. It's just going to be the Twin Ray and, of course, music. So for music, we have Omashar and Kristen Hoffman. So I just want to encourage everybody, put that down 2 weeks from tonight to really drop in and understand how to work with this very powerful shift that's about to happen. I'm going to bring our brothers, Neil and Alan, back on because, you know, you talked about how wonderful it is for us to all be together again. And we're all going to be together in San Diego. So I'm going to play a little video, and then we're going to talk a little bit about that.
After 3 years of having to produce the Portal to Ascension conference online, we have been waiting for this moment. The Portal to Ascension conference is returning live and in person. Join us at the Marina Village in San Diego, California, April 21st to 23rd, 2023. As massive shifts are happening on the planet and hidden truths are being uncovered, we are piecing together the fragmented parts of our existence and timeline. At Portal to Ascension, we are dedicated to full circle awareness of the truth of who we are and remembrance of our connection to the cosmos. This is showtime. There is no holding back. Now is the time for us to harmonize the frequencies and create unity and peace on Earth. We are deprogramming from an outdated matrix system, re-educating and remembering an inherent truth that connects us all. As we come together, we activate our truest potentials, individual gifts, and collective resolve. We are ushering a whole new reality that we know is possible and is waiting for us to embrace it. Join founder Neil Gore and the entire Portal to Ascension team with hosts Alan Steinfeld, Michelle Anderson, and Joan of Angels over these 3 days, April 21st to 23rd, 2023. We will experience musical performances by Larissa Stowe and the Shakti Tribe, Vox Angeles, Share the Light, Admiral Apollo, and Torquemji. This conference features incredible luminaries such as JJ and Desiree Hurtak, Adam Apollo, Carolyn Corey, Robert Schock, Linda Moulton Howe, Robert Edward Grant, Barbara Lamb, and many more. Register now at ascensionconference.com. It is time for humanity to awaken.
Yes.
What a great video. Great video.
You know, I just want to add what Linda Moulton Howe is saying about that time in history is from her inside sources that there's definitely going to be more ET evidence. It's not going to be as covered up, and we are going to really welcome a higher level of consciousness, which is what Aquarius, Pluto and Aquarius is all about. So it looks like from the inside that's happening as well as from the cosmos. We'll see. And it's going to happen at Portal to Ascension. We are going to get that headline. We're not alone in the universe anymore. That's a prediction I'm making.
And one of the things that I'm really excited about this particular event, not just the timing of it, but that it's an intimate event. You know, Conscious Life Expo was so big. We were lucky when we ran into each other because there was so much going on. And this is a much more intimate conference, but very, very powerful when all of our energies are together live. And we are really ushering in the dawn of the new age, the age of Aquarius. This is what we're doing. I feel like we incarnated for this time. And we got to go through the muck in order to get to the other side, but together we will do that.
I am so impressed with all the people you've got coming. I'm going to bring up the poster. I mean, it's incredible. It's really, truly the who's who.
It is a gathering of
Your thought.
luminaries.
Yeah, it's amazing who you've got, and I'm really looking forward to being there and just hearing a lot of these people. And same thing, that most of them have been on the show, but to be able to be with them live and talk to them and all be in the field of energy that happens when that many people come together. You've done a great job
Oh,
putting this
seriously, yeah.
together, guys.
Thank you, brother. Yeah, like the way that the whole thing is created, I'm owning my theatrical nature. I like to be theatrical in many ways, and it's kind of like an entertainment education play. There's always something going on. There's music. The way we're going to start it is going to be ceremonial. I'm going to even have someone smudging people as they go in. Like this is a conference. Like pretty much now, everything is super intentional what we do. We have meetings beforehand with the speakers. We had our first meeting. We all introduced ourselves to each other. We got to know each other. We meditated together. We're going to have another collective speaker meditation before. Even the volunteers had their own meditation meeting. Even the vendors are having their own meditation meeting. This is so intentional. And I'm realizing that entering life like a ceremony is really what it's all about. And coming into this experience, we're going on a journey together, guys. We're not just coming there to get information. We're going on a journey into the shadow world, into this darkness that we've entered. And the darkness doesn't have to represent evil and bad. The darkness is the black hole, the darkness of the universe. We're going through this in order to remember who we are. And this is the game that we signed up to play. So it's like, we don't have to go through it with the heaviness and weight and like, oh my God, what did they do to us? We can go through it from the awareness that, wow, we chose to have those experiences. How beautiful that is. Because without those experiences, how are we going to remember who we truly are? How are we going to have that contrast, right? So this event, it's the first live event we're doing for almost 3 years, right? So, and this is the beginning of nonstop live events. Like I have 2027 planned, guys. Like we really have a lot of things in store for the future, including our tour company and everything. So to me, this is an important event. All of them are important, but this is so special to my heart because it's the beginning of a whole new chapter in what we're going to be creating together.
And what makes this so special? It's like the whole Conscious Life Expo, it's a 3-ring circus and there's everything. But here it's one speaker at a time. You're being fed that wisdom, and it's like you're being led into the initiatory moments together as a group as we go deeper and deeper with each speaker.
I also want to just, while we've got her, I want to acknowledge, Michelle, how many years you've been doing your show. And again, you can find it, everybody. It's Awakening Code Radio. It's on KXFM. I put the link into the chat box. Let's remind everybody watching on Facebook, that's where you want to come on into the Zoom room where you can get all these links. But I'll say it's kxfmradio.org, and then you pop in Awakening Code Radio. And you've been doing this for how many years, Michelle?
10 years. We've been on air for 10 years. Eric Rankin started, I was his first guest. And we weren't partnered, to do it together, but it just kind of evolved into that. And last week we had a beautiful show with Tarek Bibi, who I met on a Portal to Ascension Heal the Divide event.
He's great. I love Tarek Bibi.
Oh my gosh, we had such great feedback with him. Now we're like texting each other every day, and we know a lot of the same people, and that's what's happening. Our circles are merging now, where many, you come with your tribe, I come with my tribe. We're all one tribe. We're all realizing it's time, So thank you. I appreciate that. And on Instagram, I'm Michelle, 2 and hearts, if you want to find me on Instagram as well.
Great. Michelle, thank you so much. And I hope you'll stick around for a little bit because we're going to bring everybody together at a certain point.
Absolutely. This is my Saturday night party.
All right. Great. Thank you so much. And what a party it is. All right, let me take a look at the agenda. What's happening next? Neil, you're going to introduce Lori Wheeler.
Yes. All right, everybody. I am excited to be introducing Lori and bio here. So Lori and I just recently connected a few months ago, and I think it was through Tangila's platform, Soul Surge. I'm pretty sure it was. And since then, we've kind of been talking and having conversations about how we could collaborate even more so. And she is also a sponsor for the Portal Ascension Conference, not only the San Diego one, but the Glastonbury event as well. And I fortunately had the opportunity to interview her just like 2 days ago, might have been yesterday even, 2 days ago, on youtube.com/Portal to Ascension. We spoke about ancient Lemuria, we spoke about Egypt, we spoke about the energy of dolphins. And I really just appreciate not only having been connected with her, but having her as a sponsor, because I really want people that I feel a deep resonance with and alignment. And Lori, definitely from all the conversations we have, I truly feel that resonance and that collective mission that we're definitely on the same mission to awaken humanity. But when it comes to the belief systems and topics she covers, incredible. She's going to be actually doing a retreat. So we've kind of joined forces in a way where she's doing a retreat after our San Diego conference and after Glastonbury. So we're gonna bring her on in a second. I want to do official bio here. And Lori, I want Lori, you to tell everybody about yourself, but also about the retreats that are going on, because she travels the world creating amazing gatherings, profound experiences that we got a chance to speak about a couple of days ago on our YouTube. So Lori Wheeler is the owner of Wellness Within, transformational holistic practitioner, homeopath, psychic channel, hypnotic regression, and medical intuitive and shamanic practitioner who helps by enhancing the ability to fully remember our divine being through the disintegration of what no longer serves, moving into a heart-centered perspective and becoming infused with the light of wisdom. As a starseed, receptor, translator of energy, Lori works with numerous interdimensionals, from the emissaries of light, extraterrestrials, the Arcturian commander of the Starfleet, light beings, Egyptian deities, ascended masters, and others, to connect and convey appropriate guidance, initiatory rites, and rituals in order to transform and transcend for the soul's advancement. Her mission here comes from many lifetimes on board one of the galactic star fleets as an emissary to bring knowledge to those who desire to elevate throughout many planetary systems. As she learns about life here on planet Earth, so she brings this into other worlds. Lori has also helped with unsolved murder and death cases over the years. She's the author of a book called Oh No, Not Another Learning Experience and Metamorphosis, and drawn both from her personal and professional work, she shares the tough questions about our soul's purpose, other lifetimes, spirit guides, and extraterrestrials. Lori, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you so much.
Wow. Thank you for inviting me. And it is truly an honor and a pleasure to be amongst everyone and be here this evening. And that is a mouthful of an intro. Oh my gosh.
A good one.
Wow, that's an excellent one. Thank you so much. Wow. It's just really wonderful to be amongst everybody and to feel this feeling of togetherness, because we've been so apart from each other and not been able to be together, that now things are really becoming cohesive. And, that feeling of being alone is shifting so that we come to realize that we are all together and that there is no separation any longer. So I'd love to just intro about the different retreats that I'm doing, and kind of how I got into it a little bit was I started back in 2008, and prior to that, I don't take normal vacations. I take adventures or go on adventures, and I would come back and I would share with people just in conversation about where I'd been and what had happened and the magic. Sorry, I'm just getting over some flu. The different things that would happen, and people would say to me, and this was the beginning, it kind of the little, wheels started going off, and received from guidance that I should bring other people on these retreats. And people would say to me, take me along with you the next time you go, because I want to enjoy that. I want to receive that. I want to experience that. So this is about people having experience. We're all here on the earth to have experience, because that is what it's all about, through experience. So I want to offer people the change that will change them forever through the experience of the particular site or place that we go to, and raise their frequency and bring, because I'm a receptor and translator of energy, I can hear, I can read so fluently that the opportunity to share what's coming in where someone may not have that capability offers them more experience, more information, more clarity, more connection. And this provides a change of their world, of all of our worlds, and to feel these different places. Every place has a different vibe to it and what it's sharing. So the end of April, after the conference, we're going to Hawaii. And this is about connecting to Lemuria, our Lemurian roots, and Mu. And learning about that, we're going to be working with the dolphins. We are going to go to Mauna Kea, which is a very sacred place in Hawaii, and working with a kahuna, which is a Hawaiian shaman, and just bringing about this connection. So many people feeling Lemuria connection, this opportunity to remember, what does it have to do with our current life today? What information is it bringing? And how can that help you navigate your world? What is it you need to remember through all of this? So it offers change of karma. It opens us up to our dharma, which is our potential of and capabilities that we bring into the world in our current life. So let's see. So the itinerary is on my website, Wellness Within, under Spirit Adventure Tours. You'll find some of the retreats there. And I'm so looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to being with everybody, bringing them on sacred journeys. I do shamanic journey work for, gosh, over 30 years now. I've been involved with that. And what I love is that it's a group thing that happens, and it creates, my husband plays the didgeridoo. He's been playing it for years, and I use the shamanic drum, and the magic, the energy that comes from the two instruments together, what it opens up for people, it opens healing, it opens access into the world that you may not have access to on your own. It just creates magic.
I'd love for you, Lori, to. Oh, go ahead, Scott. I was going to say something.
Well, I just want to take people to your website. So again, for everybody watching on Facebook, it's wellnesswithin.net, wellnesswithin.net, and definitely always immediately, put in your email address so that you can keep in track of what Lori's doing. And this is where you can find out all about her coaching, which she also provides. But of course, what she's been talking about is her events and her spiritual adventure tours. So this is the place to go to find out all about what she's doing. And very, very exciting about the incredible places you go to, Lori. I gotta say, I'm a little envious here.
Well, come on along, Scott. We'd love to have you.
As long as they've got good enough internet so I can do the Awakening World from Machu Picchu or from Glastonbury, you got it.
Well, I would love to do that. And I might add that we are going to start filming. So through Soul Search, they're providing an opportunity to have a place on Roku TV. And I've spoken with Tangela and Charlie, her counterpart, and we're going to start filming some of these spiritual trips so that it takes out some of the fear of the unknown, of what is it all about. And then it adds intrigue into, wow, I want to learn that. I want to feel that. I want to own that. So this will provide this opportunity for folks. So.
And of course, both of you were really involved in the Glastonbury tour, and here's a video to introduce it.
The Portal to Ascension mission officially began in 2008. After 15 years of evolution and thousands of events, from live to online and back to live again, there was always an awareness that when we begin creating events internationally, the mission will shift into its next phase. That time is now. Portal to Ascension is traveling to Glastonbury in August 2023 to fulfill this mission. This gathering of incredible luminaries traveling from all over the world to join forces in Avalon is a sacred pilgrimage to these ancient lands, and we invite you to embark on this quest with us. The Portal to Ascension Glastonbury is not only a conference, it is a retreat, a tour, and grid work. Together we are connecting the powerful mysteries and the ley lines of the heart of Earth, activating and uniting together as one. This 3-day event will feature Laura Eisenhower, Anton Parks, Geraldine Orozco, Vivienne Chauvet, Sage Oneness, Lori Spagna, and many more. Your MCs are Neil Gore, Alan Steinfeld, and Joan of Angels. As a collective, we are waking up from a deep slumber, aligning to our true potential. What will we create? What will we envision? What are the possibilities? Join us in this ancient land for a unique opportunity and a gathering that will activate, elevate, inspire, and uplevel all that attend. August 11th to 13th, 2023. Sign up now at ascensionglastonbury.com.
You know, you chose the absolute perfect time to go there because what's not mentioned in that video is August is right at the peak of crop circle season.
Yep.
And the crop circles happen right there in southern England, all around Glastonbury and in Wiltshire. The last 2 times I've been to England and to Glastonbury, both times was in August. The weather is gorgeous. It's beautiful. The crop circles are happening. And everybody, Glastonbury is right up there with Machu Picchu and Sedona as one of the most powerful places I've ever been in my life.
Yes, so powerful. And we're actually going to go crop circle hunting. And Laura Eisenhower is going to be there, Geraldine Orozco, Vivienne Chauvet. So there's going to be a good crew of people going looking for some crop circles. So I'm excited for that too. But, you know, I said in that video that this is grid work. And, you know, you've probably heard, Scott, you know, Glastonbury being the heart chakra area of the world. And so what we're doing there is basically, it's also a ceremony, but we're utilizing the awareness to amplify our hearts. We're starting with a cacao ceremony in the beginning. And this, you know, the science behind cacao is actually it dilates your arteries by 40%. So the reason why it's a heart chakra activator is because of the dilation of your arteries and what it does to the blood flow in your body. So we're going to basically start it out with this whole heart chakra awareness with this cacao ceremony and really funnel this awareness for the whole 3 days and then go into this amplifying and putting out heart frequency into the earth. It started out with a 1-day event, okay, because I was like, let me try an international event. I'm kind of like reluctant to do this. And then all of a sudden, all these speakers started contacting me. Laura Eisenhower contacted me. So many others that said, I heard you going to Glastonbury. We want to be there. And now it's become like a 5-day epic experience with a retreat, a whole entire party on Wednesday for the speakers and whoever comes early. And then we have a tour of Avalon the day before the conference. And then we go 3 days into this event. So the energy around this event is really incredible.
Yeah, no, I'm going to really try and make it because
Yeah, I'd love you to be there, bro.
Yeah, it's such a magical place, everybody. So we all want to be together in San Diego, and then we all want to be together in Glastonbury. Lori, thank you so much for being on the show. It's great to see you. Of course, you've been on before, and it's good to see you again.
Real pleasure. Thank you very much for
Thank
having
you
me.
for all you're doing. Hey, you know what? It's time for some music, you guys. And not only is she one of our favorite musical artists, but Larissa Stowe is one of my absolute favorite co-hosts. I love creating shows with Larissa. And what she's doing with the Weevolution, the way you build community, Larissa, you know, at first I just thought, wow, she's like this great singer, songwriter. But as I've gotten to know you, you are absolutely one of the great community builders. And there he is. There's Benj, who we absolutely love and adore. So, and of course, you're a big part of what's going to be happening in San Diego. We'll talk about that. Welcome back to the Awakening World, both of you.
Thank you. Thank you, Scott. It's always such an honor to be here with you and to be with all these beautiful beloveds tonight, and all this inspiration and all this heart-centered awareness is such a gift to be back with you all. So grateful.
Even when you weren't on camera, I just saw you beaming away. It was beautiful to see you just, enjoying Michelle, enjoying Alan, and enjoying Neil. It was really beautiful.
Well, it's easy to enjoy these beings. They're so lovable. It's very easy.
So, of course, a
I
lot of
can't
our
wait to hug people in person. That is like one of the biggest gifts we can give ourselves, is to be able to be in person and hug each other.
yeah. Now, of course, a lot of our audience have heard you talk about the We Evolution before, but for all the new people, tell us about what you're doing with community and the We Evolution.
I've been so inspired to really focus on how to create the vision of the new earth that we've all been talking about. One of the things I've experienced is that as a community and our families, and even with the people that we really feel like are on the path, like really on the path, misunderstandings come up, hurt feelings, triggers. And in order to really embody this heart centered awareness in our life, it's going to take flexing those muscles of compassion when we are, especially when we're triggered. And so I felt inspired by what I was experiencing, especially during the pandemic and all the polarization, to create the 6 global agreements. And I have to say that, I don't feel like I came up with these. When I say I created them, I mean that I was inspired to put together what I think are the most empowering and helps us to drop into that heart-centered awareness some agreements and practices that we can incorporate into our life. So I've been very passionate about that, and I will continue to be. And I see myself full steam ahead, really sharing these in the world any way I can to help us come back together.
They're beautiful. And of course, we did an entire show on the 6 agreements. I'll put the link to that show in the chat box, and I'm also going to put it into the chat box, the 6 agreements themselves, because they're beautifully designed, and there's a beautiful video you created with it. And I just thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. You are such an incredible support in this world for all of these different ways, that we're coming together right now and that we're inspired to come together. You're like a person that brings community together. Talk about a community builder. Your commitment, rain, shine, no matter what, Jasmine Bear barking or not.
Exactly. Yep. Says yes.
You bring us together consistently. So thank you. You're a true gift to all of us.
My pleasure. And we get to hear you and Benj provide a little music. What do you guys got for us tonight?
I wanted to drop us into our heart with Om Namo Guru Dev Namo, which is bowing to the divinity within ourselves and all around us. And I like to add in also bowing to the courageous humans that we are, because it takes a lot of divinity. It takes the strong divinity within us to say yes to life and to say yes to the roller coaster that we experience on this planet to grow consciousness. So I am all for bowing also to the courageous humans, because we're quite the extreme life sport junkies to come here.
This is also the song that we have our latest music video. Beautiful video shot by our friend Bob McCall in high definition. And it's just a really lovely song, and the video turned out beyond what we were thinking it even would. It's really sweet, and it's on YouTube. Scott, I sent you a link to that if you want to.
I will find it and I'll pull it up.
There you go.
So I invite you all to join in and sing, because mantra is all about us singing together. Doesn't matter how you sound. In fact, it's the most important thing is just to be the vibration, not to worry about how beautiful you sound, but to feel it in your body. So it's Ong Namo Guru Dev Namo. And then we sing a little bit in English too. Om Namo Guru Dev
Namaha. Om Gam Ganapataye 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 Namaha. Namo Guru Namo Om Namo Guru Namo Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. 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 The oak within the seed, the flute within the reed, the harvest in the grain, the ocean in the wave, the titan in the small, the rise within the fall, form and formlessness, you're the light of consciousness. Light of consciousness. You're the light
Absolutely beyond words. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, beloveds. I felt you all. Thank you.
Just, I really am speechless right now. You know, Larissa's doing so many wonderful things, creating community through the Shakti Love Tribe, Shakti Love Warriors. And you can find a lot of wonderful things at her website, which is her name, larissastow.com. Larissa, Larisa, Stow, STOW.com. Join the tribe. Absolutely. Become part of the Shakti Love Warriors. Definitely join. And she also has this wonderful group that every day at 11 o'clock in the morning Pacific time gathers on Facebook. And her Shakti Love Warrior tribe on Facebook. I just put the link into the chat box. And there's always a meditation right at 11:11 led by her different people. Sometimes it's Larissa, sometimes it's Mara or Jason, all of your different beloveds.
And I see Stacy here tonight, and she just started leading, so I want to give a shout out to Stacy.
Let me see if I can find her. Does Stacy have her camera on? Where
Earlier.
Stacy, I'm going to go to gallery view and hopefully find her. There she is. She's waving. Thank you. Hi, Stacy.
She's a brave soul. It takes a lot of courage to get on, especially when you're not used to leading. And that's what I love about the Love Warriors is it gives people an opportunity to share their gifts and their medicine and their voice in the world.
Now, I'm going to bring Neil back on because not only are you going to be performing and speaking at the San Diego conference, but there's an after party event going on. Tell us about that.
Yes. Firstly, Larissa, oh my God. Like, seriously, I'm just so beyond grateful that you exist. And the beauty that comes from you and your expression, the way you look when you perform, the sound that comes through you, it's just like, it really like reminds me of just being connected to source. Like, and I just appreciate you so much and just so much love for everything you are.
Neil, I feel the same way about you. I'm very honored to be a part. You're making me cry, but I'm very honored to be a part of what you're creating because you're so dedicated and you're so committed. So I just love supporting you, and I love supporting this beautiful family.
Mm-hmm. And this is actually a historic moment because our first conversation was in 2012 when we wanted to have you come on the conference and it didn't work out at that point. And now 13 years later, I think, no, 11 years later, we're finally collaborating on this level together. And you're going to be so I'm going to share right now the after party graphic. So the way the conference is going to go is we're going to have an epic 3 days together. And then right at the end of the conference, after we close out, we're going to have like about an hour just to move over to the building next door, overlooking the marina and the ocean in this like epic looking building that we're going to be in. And we're moving the after party there. And so not only is it available for, everybody who attends the conference, ascensionconference.com, you can sign up there. Early birds actually end tomorrow. So early bird pricing for the conference ends tomorrow. And so if you attend the conference, you get to attend the after party, but we're also working with Doug, who is Larissa's great friend that has actually been doing a lot of the promotions and setting up events for Larissa in the San Diego area for quite some time. So we're collaborating together to also open it up to the whole San Diego and surrounding community. So it's part of the conference. That's how we're going to close out. Everybody funnels over, but then we're opening the entire experience for a separate after party for specifically whoever wants to show up for this. And it's going to be on Eventbrite. If you want to just sign up for this, you can see the link right here at the bottom here, ascensionconcert.eventbrite.com. You can sign up for that. And again, if you sign up for the whole conference, you get to attend. And the way it's going to be is around 7 o'clock, we're going to start ceremony smudging. We're going to be doing some breath work. We'll probably do some yoga stretching. And then Larissa and the Shakti tribe are going to take it over and go for about an hour and a half. And then when they're done, Adam Apollo, whose DJ name is Admiral Apollo, is going to be DJing some epic songs and an epic set till the wee hours, which is going to be like 11:30 because I need to go to sleep. But it's going to be a fun experience, and it's a great way to end the event. We're going to celebrate the whole 3 days is really celebrating, but we're going to just end it out with just like dancing together, mingling, networking, and all that. So hope to see you guys there at the conference. And if you can't attend the conference, then please do, try to make it out for the after party.
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm so excited that Admiral Apollo is going to be sharing his DJing. It's going to be so awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's going to be fun. And I'm excited to be working with Doug on this one.
He is a beautiful soul. And you're right. He's been promoting us for like forever.
Yeah.
I can't even remember the beginning of when he did. He's an incredible being.
Yeah, and I love this is like a multifaceted collaboration. We're doing the conference and then we're collaborating for a specific, so it's like an event within an event,
And that makes it that much more fun, to bring in even more of the community together.
Could you maybe give us like a minute of like what kind of experience we'd be having, like what the flow is going to look like?
Well, it's definitely going to be very audience participation. This is not about the band just being up there and you watching. This is totally interactive. And I love what I love, and why I got into Kirtan and was so inspired to be in Kirtan is because it is so truly about us together. It's a we space and raising the vibration as a collective together. So we'll be singing, and Shakti Tribe's all about, really raising it up and having fun and dancing and just being, as self-expressed as we were meant to be, that we were born to be. So I just invite you all to come out. And if you love to connect with others and open your heart through music and sound, then this is the place to do it with Shakti Tribe.
Chanting is like my favorite modality, so just the fact that we're going to have this experience. And I think I told you this on the phone before, like I love that you like make all this awareness experiential, right? So we're going to have a lot of information, education, and then what is the best way to end it all is to be utilizing our own voices to integrate these sounds and up-level our consciousness. It's almost like we've taken in this information intellectually and through the heart, and then we get to chant it out and send it out into the cosmos. So that's how I kind of feel this is all like unfolding.
Yeah, it's a huge prayer. We're dancing that prayer into the earth where you can feel it. It's almost like you can feel yourself being completely taken by those archetypal energies, by, the divine. It just starts to pour through all of us. And it's like this portal a portal that gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and you could just feel that wave going through the earth and out in all different directions. It's huge medicine. It feels like we're like with millions of people, like it's just us, but it goes like it just goes out, through all of us together.
Yep. I'm already having dreams of the after party. So everybody, hope to see some of you guys there. The website again is ascensionconference.com.
And we're going to have more Larissa kind of towards the end of the show. And I'm actually going to bring on a few of us because there's a pretty cool video that somebody sent to me. And since so many of us here are interested in what's going on with our galactic family, and a buddy of mine sent me what Steven Spielberg has to say. So I'm looking for Geraldine because I wanted to bring her on, and also Michelle Anderson. So I'm going to go to Gallery View for a moment to find them so I can add them to this. And then we're going to play an interesting video to get people's responses to. So, gosh, I am not seeing... Oh, there's Geraldine. Great. All right.
Going, Scott, is also connected to the San Diego conference because we are expecting some kind of revelation inside the government on planetary scale about what's happening with possible visitors. So yes.
All right. Well, here are all these people are a big part of Portal to Ascension, and I'm curious to see what you're all going to think. I mean, Spielberg, well, you'll see. He's got a very interesting theory.
Welcome back, everybody. And now,
The thrilling conclusion of my conversation with a man I now feel comfortable calling Mr. Spielberg. Let's talk about UFOs for a minute. What do you make of what's going on right now?
Oh, it's exciting. There's something out there.
So you're a believer?
I don't know if I'm a believer in the sense that I'm kind of the person that would think, I got to see something like that to believe it. I can make up stuff.
Sure.
And make movies about things that I've never seen or experienced, and that's fine. But in terms of really believing something, I think I'd have to have my own close encounter. So I've never seen a UFO. I wish I did.
Nothing that's unexplained.
I've never seen anything that I couldn't explain. But I believe certain people who have seen things that they can't explain, that is unexplainable. I think what has been coming out recently is fascinating, just absolutely fascinating. And I think the secrecy that is shrouding all of these sightings and the lack of transparency until Freedom of Information Act compels certain materials to be released publicly, I think that there is something going on that simply needs extraordinary due diligence. I mean, I would like to hear more about it. I don't know what they are. My imagination and my love for, I don't believe we're alone in the universe. I think it's mathematically impossible that we are the only, intelligent species in the cosmos. I think that's totally impossible. At the same time, it almost seems impossible that anybody would visit us from 400 million light years from here, except in the movies, unless it figures out some way of, basically jumping the shark, so to speak, and getting here through wormholes so I'm not a astrophysicist. I really can't speak the language of the people that do it so well out at JPL. But I just know, as a person that makes movies and uses his imagination, and also as a person that is insatiably curious about UFOs or UAPs,
yes,
that there's something going on that we're really not being made that's not being disclosed to us.
Well, senators who have been briefed on this, and I don't mean just these latest balloon-ish incidents, senators who've been briefed on this have said there are things the American people deserve to know, and the quote I love is, and they're ready to learn. And that says to me that there's something sort of paradigm shattering about this news that we're not being told.
The most optimistic thing I feel about these things that we're seeing in the skies, or the Army and Navy and Air Force are recording on their gun cameras, is that what if they're not from an advanced civilization 300 million light years from here, but what if it's us 500,000 years into the future that is coming back to document the second half of the 20th century and into the first 20th century, because they're anthropologists and they know something that we don't quite know yet that has occurred, and they're trying to track the last 100 years of our history.
Well, the hopeful part about that to me is that we survive.
Yes, that we survive, or a certain percentage of us survive, that allows these other generations to flourish.
I just thought that was fascinating that it was sent to me today prior to this particular Awakening World show. And I love Spielberg's theory that what if it's us coming back? So I'd love to, we're going to hear from Geraldine in a moment, but I'd love to just open it up if anybody wants to share like what comes up for you when you hear Mr. Spielberg.
Well, I don't know about the timeline, but when Spielberg showed Close Encounters at the Reagan White House, Ronald Reagan's reportedly said, people don't know how true that movie really is. So Spielberg knows something. I think if you look at his early history, I think he could have been an abductee. So he's very open and very creative. So I don't know about the time stuff. I mean, Lori, you deal with that sort of stuff, right? Lori Spanger. And don't you kind of deal with time travel and all that? Yes.
I understand parallel realities. I understand interdimensional reality. So, and I think most of the speakers here get that when I hear him say that, my perspective, my awareness is that consciousness is now affecting the collective, and the collective being, in a sense, infiltrated, for lack of a better word, or just affected by what we've been downloading, activating, and awakening for so long that now it's, for lack of a better word, or just affected by some interesting echo going on.
Remember, everybody, to keep yourselves muted. There was somebody coming in who wasn't muted.
Could have been the time travelers that were echoing back.
Time travelers, but yeah, for sure. I mean, star seeds, we get that, right? That's kind of our storyline, that we're here from alternate realities or interdimensional travel, that we're now anchoring in physicality, and we're awakening and activating what's been dormant in our DNA, which is our remembrance. That's what we're speaking about. And of course, now the collective is being affected by it, because that's what we talk about when we talk about the 100th monkey or the domino effect. It's starting to get out to the collective. So that's how I see that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Any other comments before we go to Geraldine?
Yeah, I'll jump in. I feel like it's this and that there's so many different things happening on the planet, so many agendas, so many connections with different ETs. And it's all about semantics, really, like the way you want to communicate about it. Because if you want to look at time traveling as like coming from something other than linear space, and linearity is based on our position of our Earth to our sun, then technically everything traveling through space, especially if they're coming great distances using technology to bend space-time, or time traveling on some level, whether it's the future versions of ourselves on Earth, or if it's the future versions of ourselves in other dimensions that ascended to different realities, that's yet to be shown. And I guess a lot of people in this community would probably give you some answers on that. But I feel like on some level, not only were we seeded, but the ones that seeded us here are also not only our ancestors, but also our descendants, because that's the way time works. It's a paradox. The universe works within a paradox. And so not only are we seeded by these beings, but in our future, we end up becoming those that seeded us in the first place. So it's really about, like, I don't think it's just exclusively like people from Earth went to the future and then, came back here and had this experience, but that could be one of infinite potentials.
I love everything everyone just shared. And one of the things that came to me while I was watching that is I thought about the scene in The Last Mimsy. Has anyone here seen The Last Mimsy? It's a
wonderful movie.
It's that movie did something to me when I saw it. It's a children's movie. It was really for children, and my daughter could not understand why I was bawling my eyes out in this movie when this little girl's her DNA, and the purity in her heart of caring so much about the future generations, her DNA helped save the future generation. She came back to help. Or they sent this little Mimsy back to help save the future generations from really making the species of humanity become extinct. That, we're at this great pivot point right now where we discernment is so important right now, that we really use our discernment muscle as we move forward, because humanity is facing we could be facing our own extinction if we don't rise in consciousness. That's why we're all here doing what we're doing. So I feel that when he did talk about that, Scott, when you brought up that coming back from the future, it just felt like we're all remembering, like Neil said. And I love what Lori and Neil both shared, and I can't wait to hear what Geraldine has to say as well.
Well, that might be time for Neil to introduce Geraldine.
I think Alan wanted to do it.
You're right. And I put the camera on Ellen, and then I said Neil. So you two have merged into one being in my consciousness.
Well, we are that portal to Ascension. But I think Geraldine is the perfect person to follow the Spielberg clip. I mean, the thing about Spielberg is he's as right on as anyone. No one has the answers, not the government, not the media, not even the experts. So Spielberg, but the person who does have some answers is our next speaker, Geraldine Orozco. So perfect. She's following Marie, who brought all that divine goddess Shakti in up from the Geraldine, divine goddess energy in from the cosmos. I mean, Larissa's sort of cosmic too, but Geraldine is, one of her names is, I think, Alien Mother. I think they call you that because she an awakening, met these ET beings, but she's also a great meditation teacher. And she's also at the leading edge of what's happening with the star seeds, what's really going on, how we can integrate this multidimensional reality for the masses. What's happening with our DNA, what's happening with transformation, what's happening as we integrate the ancient past and the future. So Geraldine is at the cutting edge, and she's the perfect portal to ascension goddess herself. So thank you, Geraldine, for being.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that introduction. Funny enough, I just watched that Spielberg clip last night. It caught my attention, and I was, thinking about it because I finally got to see his film, The Fifth Kind, recently, and I thought it was amazing. And there's no way that somebody creates a film this way without really understanding some deep things. But what really caught my attention was the comment on the portals, on how we are, time traveling through that. And really the way I see it, my perspective, I mean, our DNA is like a portal. It's a vortex. It's a vortex which allows us to portal and time travel simultaneously, interdimensionally, beyond time and space, what we believe is time and space. I really feel that it's through our body, through our own genetics, that we have the ability of accessing these higher levels of consciousness. And like Michelle was saying, which is so important, that these higher faculties that we're using for discernment, the same instruments that we need in order to encounter and have these kinds of experiences with interdimensional beings, is precisely, that same system. So yeah, I thought it was really, really interesting, and I'm glad that we're having the conversation. And the more that we learn what we are ourselves, being perhaps those portals, portal to ascension, that allows us to access into these dimensional layers of ourselves and connect. Oh, you're muted, Alan.
Just want to share a little bit, maybe share on the last part working on.
Alan, you asked me what am I working on, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. What am I working on right now? I am writing a children's book right now. I'm trying to finish this by the end of this year, that will focus on interdimensionality, training children how to connect with their interdimensionality. After working for years with people in hypnotherapy and also DNA reprogramming, my favorite clients are children, because of their ability to quickly access emotional data, memories, both in this timeline and interdimensionally. So I think we need to invest time and attention in supporting and teaching cultivation of life force, learning how to navigate our multidimensional bodies, activate our higher faculties. It really is the new human that we're coming into right now, because the new way of being and navigating this world has to be one of discernment. It has to be one of truth, one of authenticity. And the beautiful thing about this month especially, some people were talking about it earlier, coming into Pluto, which is a really huge thing, because we are accessing the subconscious mind of not only internally but the collective. And that allows us to get into the deepest shadows of ourself, so that we can uprise those little hidden parts that have been holding back humanity from seeing truth and entering into those, beyond the veil, interdimensional navigation. So the children's book, and then of course my book that I'm trying to finish, in addition to some courses that I'm publishing this summer. One is called the Multidimensional Body Course, and the other one is an acronym called GPAC, which means Grounding, Protecting, Aligning, Co-Creating, and it's basically teaching you how to use this multidimensional body. And of course I have my YouTube channel. So this is my primary areas right now, and I'm deeply honored and very joyful to participate in the conferences coming up next month in April, and we're going to be together in Glastonbury, and that's going to be incredible, and later on in Egypt. So it's such an amazing year, and timely for some of these incredible activations.
How does the timeline look us as we move into, like, we're talking about timelines. What does the future look like from your perspective?
Well, in 2017, when I received these opening downloads and I navigated these dimensional layers, what I kind of saw, first of all, I saw Pluto coming in to play a major role in global transformation. And April being a really big, important month that will begin to completely catalyze transformation for humanity. And from there, moving into the next 4 or 5 years, where we will see major jumps in technology, major jumps in medicine, major jumps in the way that we see each other, we communicate with each other, and technology not only being, physical technology, but also bioelectric technology. I also know that DNA plays a tremendous role. It's going to come in more into the conversation of technology and medicine. I've been watching very closely conferences on genetics over the past several years, and my visions from 2017 are all seem to be coming pretty true in regards to the importance of DNA sequencing playing a major role in creating our identities, the way that we navigate our world, how we're going to travel. It's going to play a major role, and I think as we learn more about it, it's also going to show us our interdimensional information, ET activity that runs in families, our celestial, brothers and sisters and our star seed roots that become expressed as we activate DNA. So a lot of people are going to have those conversations, and we have to study that in order to understand unity consciousness, because that's essentially the end goal here, or I guess what we're headed towards, not really an end goal, but it's unity consciousness, not just in concept, but actual embodiment, navigation, and state of being. So it's a beautiful, powerful time, but it does require us to do the work. Those that don't want to do the work or avoid looking at those shadow parts will be called to do that through the physical matrix of everyday experiences, and also illnesses. So we really need to kind of up the game into consciousness. So these events are so important right now. Yeah.
Geraldine, I recall when you were on the show before, you provided some wonderful practices and tools of how people can open more to multidimensional experience. Is there anything you could share as just steps that people can take?
Yeah, absolutely. One of my favorite, most powerful tools that you can utilize is to begin working with your seventh and eighth chakra. Okay, not a lot of people do that. People forget about the chakra system, and they think of it just as one part of us. But actually, the chakra system is the entire filtration of your everyday experience. So if you don't do house cleaning in your first three chakras, you won't be able to anchor source light through the body. So we really need to continue working actively, processing emotions properly, letting go of the past, especially this month. Let go of the past, let go of past resentments, things you can't accept. Acceptance is super important, and those will help activate these open runways for your heart center to begin to come into coherence. And the seventh and eighth chakra is the center of manifestation, which is connected to the seventh and eighth layer of this entire planet, the grid, which is what some people call the Akashic, or the DNA of the earth. Okay, so in order for us to discern properly, we have to be super tuned to the DNA of the earth. So we're receiving higher octaves of information, of truth, as much as possible. So maintaining a clear vessel and putting in a vibrational frequency that represents your highest intention in the crown, seventh and eighth. The eighth is the center of interconnection, and the seventh functions like a refraction mechanism that goes into all of the sections of your genetic code. So everything in your career, your relationships, love life, everything is affected by your intention here. So this is just one little tool that I can invite you to try.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I
Thank you.
wonder- yeah, thank you. And Geraldine has so much to offer. And so if you go to her website, it's her name, GeraldineOrozco.com. Also shows up as BayAreaMeditation.com. And there it is. Just definitely pop your email address in there because she has wonderful tools to provide in Unity Consciousness. And you do hypnotherapy. And do you still do private sessions with people, Geraldine?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I do something called I also am an epigenetic psychotherapist, so I work directly with DNA reprogramming, and it's about vocalizing and working with vibrational frequency in order to deprogram trauma from the body. So it's a really, really great technique for clean healing. Yeah, thank you.
She also has an group. Every month they have experiencers meet, and it's a really great gathering of people.
That's also my support group. If you're an experiencer, you can register at hybridmother.com and it's free. And we have some nice in-depth. Ellen always comes. It's amazing. So please do join us. Thank you.
Hybridmother.com. It's good to know. And thank you, an epigenetic psychotherapist.
That's right.
That is so 2023.
Yes, it is.
That's beautiful.
Thanks
Thank
so
you.
much, everyone. Such an honor. Much love.
All right. Oh, hey guys, I think one of you is going to introduce Fox.
Yes, that would be me. Everybody, I am really happy to introduce to you Vox, who is a great friend. I've known Vox for over 10 years, I believe, and had an opportunity multiple times to connect in person. And actually, unlike a lot of people I know, the first initial connection was in person. And she is going to be at the Portal Ascension Conference. She was also there in 2018, 2019. And much like a few of my other friends, including Michelle Anderson, an event wouldn't be a Portal to Ascension live event without Vox. And a little bit about her. As a pure conduit for the Elohim, Phyllis Ann Douglas, aka Vox, facilitates the path of the undoing using energy, frequency, and vibration. Her ability to create multidimensional pathways and access points allow those who choose to let go and desire to move forward to access the true divine and infinite nature. When people hear Vox speak and sing in the angelic Adamic language of light, the ancient codes and frequencies that flow through her in embodied state are translated and assimilated on an energetic, cellular, and a DNA level to undo the web woven of our inner narratives, stories, and beliefs that are not aligned with our spiritual nature, truth, path, and purpose. And from my own heart, the experience with Vox, it's like a frequency that penetrates your soul and you feel rewiring your DNA in that moment. The experiences people have had just from our conferences, all of a sudden Vox is on stage and she begins singing with her drum and you can just feel it in your soul. People have releases in those moments. So I really just appreciate not only just bringing her there for that experience to really up level everyone, but I also had the experience of taking her live yoga classes, right? When I lived close to her in the Inland Empire, where we did yoga, like really great yoga class. And then she would end it with us in a circle where she was singing and playing the drum on us. And that was truly transformational in itself. And Vox, I just appreciate you so much. We've known each other for so long. And, you know, every time I feel I do anything that I feel that is getting onto this level of, you know, awakening, I really love having you on board because I really see you and appreciate everything that you are. So thank you for being here.
Oh, thank you for so much for that. Beautiful. I feel the same with you. I'm going to go to Glastonbury.
I would love for you to be there. That would be so awesome.
All right. Let me get things set up here. And then I'll bring the angels in.
Andare iria sur, eri andreri che monureri. Sino tuam, andrà siria sureria. Ariara suram, ariara suram. Ucire sa macchina tru, magiare chi si su treno, o notte tira, o notte tira. Tu poi di tristi, motro soio, motro marino, torseno, rigoio rosso tre,
Ere cucciuccio mo trepira, le becchiere hanno sole, mare chiria sotuia, andrari sure mone chiriero, unde naveghiere sure, i sere cu, mi ricommo tranieri, si rirommo cure a paria, I vorrei suremo, engare suremo, trushom, engare siremo, pudiere kiria, engare siremo, pundre siriam, angare siremo, curia siriam, amare kiriam, bakure siriam, trori, engare yarore, Gere baduisa vai eriutuso. Matiere che si piccia utrandiere hucio. Bagiri si pokui motreria. Anche sciatudera pure. Buria haria. Vari studia makire pasuta. Hande hiria pasuta. Pure siriam. 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 Peace be with you.
Mm.
Wow. Wow. This is my first time experiencing you. I had no idea.
Hmm.
It's been up leveled recently.
Do you know before what's going to come through, or is it all completely spontaneously happening for you?
No, I'm a conduit, so the energy, the frequency comes down and magically comes out as sound. That's my favorite job.
Wow.
And
And
the more
are you observing it as it's happening? Like, is there a part of you watching what's happening, or is it just a one pure flow?
it's a pure flow, but I'm also elevated into a higher space when it's like happening. So I don't feel like I can see my body. I feel like I'm just slightly up.
Is it hard to come back down?
No, it's really become my just my natural state of being at all
I've been
times.
so amazed at how grounded you are after these experiences sometimes, Vox. You like fully are embodied afterwards, it feels.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been such a blessing, this journey. But now it is as if I'm very grounded when I'm doing it.
Mhm.
So it's just become this container, I guess, over the years and the work that I've done. Yeah.
The chat box is flooding with comments from people. I do want to let people know about two ways you can connect with this incredible soul. Let's start with her music. So there's Vox Angelus, and like Omashar, she's on Bandcamp. So you go to voxangelus.bandcamp.com. And oh my gosh, you've got a lot there. Holy moly. Wow. Are there particular albums here that you would suggest that people start with?
Really anything that kind of resonates with you. And I would say one thing, when I make this music, the Elohim is like, we need to record. So I go into the recording studio.
Mhm.
And all of those songs, every song I've ever created takes 2 hours.
Wow.
And I sing all the voices, and it's just like, okay, now we're going to do the drum. Now we're going to do a bell. Now we're going to do another voice. Now another voice track. And I don't pay attention to what's happening. I just sing. And somehow at the end, it just all fits together.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
yeah.
Well, that's incredible. So again, that would be you go to Bandcamp. It's voxangelus.bandcamp.com. But she has an alter ego, and her alter ego is Phyllis. And tell us about this work that you do, myofascial release therapy. Now, this is at her other website, which is her kind of, I guess, traditional name, phyllisdouglas.com.
And you could click on the
Phy.
X.
What's that?
You can click on the X, I said.
I can click on the X. Okay, great.
There we go. Okay.
Tell us about the wonderful work that you do here, Phyllis.
Well, it's interesting because I was a myofascial release therapist for many years. And one of the things that came out of that was just really a deeper understanding of the physical body, but that our connective tissue is actually just like this highway, a crystalline highway of light within our body, and that we actively connect to the external through our fascial system. This is what the angels have been sharing with me. So a lot of the work that our consciousness flows through that system as well. And so I've been working with that. So I don't do strict like myofascial release any longer. I think they called it now fascial emergence or something. Myofascial emergence. Interfascial emergence. Yes. And so I'm doing more energetic work with the angels, but with the fascia in mind as I'm working with people.
What a gift to our world you are. Neil, thank you for introducing us.
Oh yeah. You just wait for the conference when you have subwoofers surrounding you. And then Vox goes. I mean, I honestly, I cried both times on 2018, 2019. I was just in it. Whenever you sing Vox, like I feel it's like the theme song for the mission of Earth, of humanity, and it's like I envision like the Elohim, the creator gods, traversing the solar system and the galaxy to look for planets to seed, and that is like the sound of our frequency as we go through the universe. And it's just like, if you're ever lost in the world, like if you're ever wondering about what your mission is, you listen to this sound and you're like, oh yeah, that's why we're here. That's the beautiful song that connects us all. That's what I love other people for. That's why I need to put unity and our own upliftment, in front of everything else. So I just love it. I just love you so much. Thank you so much for being you.
Love you as well, and thank you so much for those beautiful words.
Yeah.
I brought Michelle on because I saw her weeping during.
She does this to me every time. There's never been a time that I didn't just cry from my soul. And I remember, Vox, do you remember being you came into studio with Eric and I on Awakening Code Radio. Yeah. Do you remember the date when you were with us?
No, I don't.
I think I have a sense, I don't remember the exact date, but I have a sense it was the end of 2019, very beginning, maybe even January of 2020. It was right before the whole world just went to a weird space. And I remember thinking you were there to remind us of who we are, to bring us back to that connection with the divine. And thank you so much. I see the chat boxes going crazy with people giving you such deep appreciation for where you moved us to, and how my heart has this tingling sensation in it right now. I'm like, wow, what's going on in my heart right now? I physically feel my heart right now. And I just thank you so much for what you do for all of us.
The chat that stands out for me is from Christy Michaels, who says, awesome to witness the grounding at an elevated state, like walking as heaven on earth.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to invite you to come back. I'd love to have you on one of our Sacred Sunday shows, just you sharing about your experience, because you're definitely a wonderful new friend to come into the Global Peace Tribe. And thank you, Neil, for bringing her. And again, I agree. Imagine what it's going to be like when we're all together in San Diego. It's going to be incredible. Absolutely incredible. All right, we have one more special guest, and Neil, I'm going to give you the opportunity to introduce her.
Yeah, and you know what? I actually want Michelle to stay on because I would like to do a joint introduction because I know Michelle equally loves her as much as I do, and has had her on a show many times and really introduces Lori extremely well. So I'm going to do one line from her bio and just speak from my heart about Lori. Lori Spagna is a spiritual catalyst, first contactee, intuitive ascension guide, multidimensional channel, visionary, light worker, and starseed who has transformed the lives of thousands of humans and animals via channeled ascension, guidance, intuition, DNA activations, divine transmissions, energy healing, and animal communication. And the way I first got connected with Lori was we met at Conscious Life Expo. We had a little meeting there quite a few years ago now. And I checked out one of the videos. And at that point in my life, I wasn't really sold on animal communication. And I checked out a video of Lori speaking, like connecting with a horse. And I was like sold. I'm like, oh my God, animal communication exists. And this is the person who does it. And I felt the deep resonance of the genuinity, the authenticity that Lori had. And then Since then, our friendship has been flourishing and blossoming, and now she's become someone that's very close to my heart. Whenever we see each other, we just like love on each other hardcore. She's not only been, at our events and different conferences and workshops, but she supported me. She supported Portal to Ascension. She's helped me emotionally when I was down. She reaches out. She's really become someone that I can rely on to even just have a conversation with when something is going on with me. So not only is she just amazing at what she does, but genuine soul that really reaches out there and connects with others to help uplift them, really has the right intention in mind. So I just love Lori so much, and she's going to be back at our conference again in San Diego this year. And Michelle, you want to jump in here and say some beautiful words too?
I can echo what you're saying, Neil, that I met Lori at a Portal to Ascension event, and I sat in on her presentation, and then she did this meditation, and I was so blown away with what happened to me personally in that meditation. It was like meeting my whole team of guides and angels, and my whole body was vibrating. And I was like, no, you don't understand. This has never happened to me before. And she kind of just held me in that. Like, she knew what she did, but she just was so graceful and humble with the way that she held me in that experience, because it was very new for me. And every single time you, Lori, do that, I just feel so much closer to you each time we're together, and each time you lead the meditations, and the wisdom that you share, and just our friendship. I just the way that you reach out, and you always seem to know when I need a little nudge. And I love that we have that back and forth with both of us, that I can be that for you and you can be that for me. And the people that you work with have shared that they have had profound transformations from working with you. So I'm just so grateful for you, Lori. And I know it's got to be late there in Florida now. I was like, wow, she's going on last. She's like, you're bringing it around at the end, but you are that's the home run part of you. And thank you for staying up late to be with us tonight. And I just appreciate you so much.
Wow. I don't even know what to say about that introduction from you both. I'm just like so honored, and that's so kind of both of you. All the things you just said, I'm deeply grateful for your kindness and for inviting and including me to be here. Grateful and honored. So thank you so much. Neil, do you just want me to share a little bit about where do you want me to begin?
Yeah, share whatever is relevant for you right now in your experience, what we're really calling in cultivating.
Yeah, I want to say the first thing that I want to share that a lot of people I think don't always understand is that there is an agenda of the light, and that agenda is real. And that agenda of the light it's basically pretty simple. It's basically for humanity to awaken. And at the same time, it's for humanity to remain in free will choice. So what that means essentially is that we all have opportunity not only to awaken, but to continue to choose whatever we're choosing with our consciousness, our energy, and our vibration, our behaviors, our actions, and even our inactions. And so the reality that we have perceived to be a collective experience is actually nothing more than a conformed experience to each individual's perspective. And so more and more what we're coming into the awakening of is the realization that reality is simply reflection of individual consciousness, and that this entire collective experience is reflection of the all that is and the infinite potentials which are available to all of us. And that it's time for us to become so aware that that the experience is within us, not as mere human bodies, but more as the whole of the sum of its parts, that we come into that alignment of the recognition that our awareness is at one with all that is. Now, this is a big jump for humanity. We are not quite there yet, but we are beginning to awaken more and more to coming into the recognition that reality will conform to our consciousness to provide to us that which we need and or require in order for our own awakening and ascension, that not all beings are sharing the experience. For example, the one who is speaking here now, at the time of the awakening of The 2020 year of timeline where all were experiencing a collective, the beginning of the eradication of fear, the beginning of the eradication of fear of death, the beginning of eradication, the beginning of eradication of false illusion of control, and the release or the giving, the misgiving of control and misgiving of control to an external authority, which does not in reality exist. At this time, the one who is speaking went off and traveled and traversed the country rather than being in lockdown. At this time, the one who was speaking in demonstration as one who has awakened such a large degree of the dormant DNA for so many years. This time, this one stood in the presence of at least 4 at one time who actively engaged with the experience of COVID and remained immune and impervious as demonstration for humanity that those who exist on Earth are 100% immune and impervious with their consent as they awaken that within the DNA, for those codes exist there. At times, various times, this one who speaks here now has held gatherings such as the ones which will be held in San Diego, where the registration on the Institute of Heart Math of the Schumann's resonance was spiked while her unique group meditated and did collective healing. Twice now, once in Arkansas, this was registered, the highest frequency on the whole of Earth during the week of the retreat that was held by this one speaking now. Furthermore, in a secondary place known as Stuart, Florida, during the week of her retreat, where a group was gathered in meditation, healing, and activations. Oh, it was that the Schumann's resonance spiked in that area of Florida, that the entire resonance of Florida was raised for one weekend. These things are possible now for all humans gathering and more, so much more. For example, the DNA activations, which are being done more and more regularly. These groups where we have done these activations, this one here, along with many groups, hundreds on webinars, activating dormant DNA together. After a series of these, it was in your year of 2019 registered that the DNA had discovered that your science community, your scientific community had discovered that the DNA had 4 additional codes. You see, because it is now known, it is known by many light workers like the ones who are gathered here tonight, that when we work with the non-physical and bring in that which was formerly unknown in the physical world into the physical world, when we do it with faith, which is not the absence of knowing, but rather the willingness to know what is yet unseen, the willingness to know what has yet been unknown by the collective, so to speak, by the humans, by the physicality that you exist in, that act of faith, by working with the non-physical and anchoring things into the physical, this is when it is landed in physicality. This is when the physicality will register it. And this is what will be going on at Portal to Ascension in April and again in Glastonbury. And we recognize you and we are willing to participate with you. Thank you. Thank you. And this is the collective we're working with. So kind of just took over, but anyway, I hope that is all helpful. I just wanted to, all I thought I was going to share about was the agenda of delight, and that just really came through there. There's strong.
If there's more, we've got time. So is there something else that?
Oh yeah, let's ask, because I did sort of try to pull myself away because it's very strong. So this collective group is quite strong, you see. There are many willing hearts and open hearts. And what we would like to share here with you now, since the invitation has been opened, is that the key things to remember for humanity at this time, as has been stated, is number one, to recognize that there is indeed an agenda of light. Everything else is distraction, which is part of the agenda of the light, of course, to provide ample opportunity for all to experience that which they choose and desire. Recognize that everything that you place your awareness upon is a choice. and everything that you are not choosing now. It is time to recognize, and this in the consciousness of the one who speaks. Simply swipe left if you are not interested any longer, and swipe right when you are. Recognize it can be that simple. No, thank you, not interested. Yes, please, more of that. Begin to align with that which you desire, with that which brings you joy, for you have known this all along as well. Now let us offer one more piece here, actually two. It has been mentioned already about the DNA, and this too is a very powerful and potent piece of your own activating potential within you, for no one could ever take your DNA from you, much as they may try, much as they may invoke you with great fear and attempts to harness it through your nose or some other form. This is irrelevant. No one can steal your DNA. And this is your most powerful tool in a sense, other than one other piece. And that is, may you all take a guess in your mind at this moment, most of you know already, through your multidimensional heart. You see, so many are still operating through the brain. And we are not saying that that is not a wonderful tool. We are not saying, or nor would we ever suggest that you should give up access to your brain. Nothing could be further from the truth. But rather what we are suggesting is that you must begin to utilize that chakra center through the multidimensional heart space. When the multidimensional heart space is opened, you will access portals beyond portals beyond portals. For in truth, this is your portal to the higher realm. You understand that the green color in this chakra center indicates your connection with the physical earth you walk upon. And the magenta color in this heart center indicates your portal ascension, your awakening into the higher dimensional realms where you already exist in consciousness, where you simply begin to unify with more of your multidimensional aspects, the aspects of your own consciousness where you are already united with them. And this is why so many of you resonate as starseed, you see. For those of you who see and perceive yourselves as starseed, while indeed, of course it is so, you have already accessed and awakened the multidimensional aspect of yourselves where you are starseed. And so it is also true, where many of you resonate as angelic in form. This is true. Ascended master in form, for example. You exist through your own multidimensional heart space as those beings and those aspects too. And while they are individual aspects with their own unique identification, at the same time, they are part of each and every one of you as a collective. You see, you are all collectives in a sense, awakening to that multidimensional aspect that you exist within. All of it, of course, as always, is frequency-based. As you continue to awaken and activate the dormant DNA, which is within you, your unique signature, that is not unique to anyone else or anything else. As you continue to awaken and activate this within you, you will have more and more access to your multidimensional nature as well. This is evident, and all of this is part of the agenda of the light. And we would suggest here now that you continue to affirm your choice to align with the agenda of the light. Of course, it is always your choice. We will add this last piece here now to recognize that there are multiple agendas on the planet. And many of you, of course, know this and are awakened to it. But know with your discernment which agenda you are aligning with. For part of the agenda of the light, as was stated earlier, is to continue to allow all beings to choose which agenda they will align with. So, of course, needless to say, you understand there is and has been an agenda of the dark. And the agenda of the dark is simple. It is to extinguish the light. That is simple. To usurp the free will choice of others, and in so doing, do so in secrecy and conspiracy, secrecy and privacy, secrecy, without one knowing that there is an attempt to usurp free will choice. That is the agenda of the dark. Then, of course, as has been stated, there is an agenda of the light. The agenda of the light has been stated to allow all humans to choose freely what they choose through their awakening and remembrance practice. Now, the other three agendas are simple. There's the agenda of the service to self, which is large and has been the primary agenda on Earth for quite some time in terms of numbers of humans. More and more are shifting this now to the agenda of the greater good. This is where you have agenda of most awakening beings, most healers, those who serve the greater good. You know them well. And even many, many public figures who perceive themselves to be doing great good works, and they are indeed. They are serving the greater good. They are oftentimes utilizing public domains to introduce concepts of service to the greater good. And we will introduce you to the fifth category, which is the smallest category on earth. And these are those that serve the balance. The ones who serve the balance work equally with the dark and the light. They are simply here to continue the balance of the game of duality. There is no wrongness or rightness in any of these agendas, for you understand that ultimately all agendas are within the agenda of the light. It is simply there for you all to choose with your own free will choice, with your own consciousness, and to have the discernment to know the difference. We hope this has been helpful to you. At this time, we will give our gratitude for our opportunity to participate.
Thank you, Lori. Wow. I'm just meeting you for the first time tonight also. So what a back-to-back incredible pair of introductions between you and Phyllis Ann, also known as Vox. Thank you for that.
Yeah, my body is still vibrating from Vox. That was awesome.
My God. Oh, what a beautiful. Okay. I want to introduce people how to learn more about you. It's your website, and her name is spelled Lori, Lori, Spagna, Spagna.com. So it's lorispagna.com. And oh my gosh, you've got a lot going on. You've got books, you've got media, and you're very generous. I've been looking over, if you go there, click on Get Your Free Gifts, because she provides a lot. Animal, psychic gifts and abilities, the Juicy Living ebook, all these things that she's providing free of charge. Now, I did put the individual links into our chat box. That's why those of you watching on Facebook, come on into the Zoom room. You can still do that. Get all these links. And Lori, is there any particular place on your website you really want me to point out to people, a book or a home study program?
Oh, you're so sweet. You know what? I would love to offer people a gifted DNA activation, which they can go to just by adding DNA to the end of what you've got up there now, freegifts.com/DNA. And they can get a gifted DNA activation. This is perhaps one of the most important, fastest, and easiest things that we can all do at this time, is to begin working with our own DNA and activating and awakening that. Because, of course, all of our codes of consciousness, all of our frequencies of light, it's all stored in there. And I get it that we on planet Earth are waking up to that. So, and the other thing is, there's a gifted, for those of you who are real animal lovers who really want to be of service to animals on a global scale. One of the huge things is that animals here are divine messengers. And it's time, I think it's time for us to wake up to the recognition that they're our brothers and sisters who are entitled to their rights of sovereignty as well. And to the recognition that they are sentient, very sentient beings, just as we are, in the sense that we're all at different, we're all in our own frequency bandwidth of consciousness. We're all waking up in our own unique time, in our own unique way. And so is true of the animals in the animal kingdom. So for people who would love to help support the animal divine mission purpose of animals, they can go to lorispagna.com/free-gifts/animals.
It's funny, towards the end of your channeling, Jasmine Bear, who's my pup, came running up and wanted to be up with me. So, you like Lori? Yeah.
Oh my
And
God.
kisses there. Okay.
What an angel. The animals, I always say the animals, they know our innermost secrets, and they are here by soul contract to support and assist us in our journey of awakening. And of course, we're matched up with our soulmates with regard to animals as well. So, they're here like helping us, and they have so much consciousness in the areas of our blind spots.
Yeah.
So they can really amazingly see and perceive and understand things. And of course, it's not so much their personality selves, like, they have those lower aspect selves, not greater or lesser, but like lower, every day, hey, I'm a dog, I'm playing with my red ball kind of thing. But they have access to their higher consciousness as well that we can tap into. And that's where they can reveal to us so much about, their journey with us and how they're helping us and what they might know that we might not be aware of, our unique blind spots and stuff.
Well, just like I invited Vox to a Sacred Sunday show, we periodically do shows on animals and connecting to animals, where we'll have a couple of animal psychics come on and people that do programming to support animals. I'd love to have you on the next one that we do like that. That'd be awesome.
That'd be my honor and privilege. Yes.
Lori, what a pleasure to meet you. Thank you so much again. Thank you, Neil, for bringing her on. What a blessing to meet you. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Hey, everybody, we are One Love. And a big thanks to Jay Mayer, who produces videos for us like that. So this is where we get to talk about some of the amazing things that are going on. And one of the things that we want to let everybody know about, coming right up, is the Sedona Ascension Retreat. You recently saw Suzanne Ross, who was on my show, and we did a whole show kind of just like tonight's show has been spotlighting all that Portal to Ascension is up to. Well, likewise, there's an amazing retreat going on that Suzanne Ross has put together. And I'm going to be there. Neil's going to be there. A lot of our favorite people are going to be there. Alan Steinfeld is going to be there. And it's coming right up here in Sedona, March 17th to the 19th. And likewise, she's just put together an incredible group of people. So we really want to encourage everybody to go to and meet me here and meet Alan and Neil and all of us in Sedona. It'll be a really great time. Matt Kahn is going to be there. Paul Selig, William Henry, all of whom have been on our show, and they're all terrific presenters. So that's going to be very, very special. And I really want to encourage that. Speaking of Jay Mayer, did you want to say something, Alan?
It's like an all-star team, we have like the Michael Jordans of our league there at this conference. So it'll be really, really fun.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's, it is true. It's like how wonderful that now we get to come together. We get to gather in person. And I will continue to do my best with, obviously through the Awakening World. For those of you, I understand some of you can't. Certainly, I can't even go to all of these things. So, for the ones that people can't go to, that's why we have, shows like New Realities TV and Portal to Ascension and the Awakening World, where we can bring you these presenters and these speakers. But boy, to the degree that we can get together in person, let's do it. And speaking of getting together in person, here's the thing happening right after Sedona, 2 weeks after Sedona.
Greetings, this is Antoinette Roots Data and Pato Bantan. Just want to sit there and give you guys a message about a special event that's coming up at the end of this month called the LA Convergence at the Wisdom. Now, if you don't know anything about what this convergence is, during the past 10 years, Pato and I have been working with Ben Bowler, who's the president and founder of Unity Earth. But before it was called Unity Earth, it actually started as U-Day Unite back in Thailand in 2012. So some of you guys who's been following our ministry know that we've been to Thailand. We also went to Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Ethiopia, Varanasi, India, the Convergence in Toronto, in Crestone, the Parliament to World Religion, and also the New York Convergence. Now, these events that have been taking place around the world have been with religious leaders and inspirational leaders from around the globe.
Yes, so it's going to be at the Wisdom LA. If you haven't been to the Wisdom before, you need to come and check it out. It's 360-degree panoramic 3D immersive experience, and it is absolutely beautiful. We've got some amazing artists too. Who we got there, Antoinette?
Well, of course, we got Pato Banton. When's the last time you played in LA, Pato?
It's been a while.
We also have the beautiful voice of Kristen Hoffman. She's been on many events with us before, and if you haven't heard her sing, she sings like a butterfly. She sings like she has a voice of an angel. We also have Lila June, who's also a social activist and a performer and a singer and a rapper. So you're going to enjoy her performance, as well as Sri Ram Ka and Master Lady Kira Ra. This is someone we haven't seen before. This is going to be new and exciting for us to be able to witness. We also have the Roots Daughter Collective, which is, for those of you guys who have not seen my show, this is going to be very new and very exciting, as I'm going to be featuring Empress Akua and Nichelle Monroe, who I've done many things with before in the past. And we also have Keishi Chai and the Pure Dancers, along with Pookie Lee, Bob Baker, and Rhiannon Catalyst and the Catalyst Culture Labs. And also a 360 immersive experience by Bella Gaia. If you haven't seen this one, strap yourselves for this. It's going to be an amazing immersive experience, and it's coming to Los Angeles.
We're also going to have some amazing global spotlights featuring organizations like Igniting the Hollow Movement Panel, Coronexus, Hearth Reed, Unitive Narrative, the Center for Unity, the Creative Society, and we'll also feature the Spirit of Ubuntu Global Initiative along with Guard Jameson from Compassionate Las Vegas. Local spotlights will be Crop Swap LA, Arts Bridging the Gap, and also Stand Up for Justice.
This is sponsored by Unity Earth. It's also being co-sponsored by Purpose Earth. It's also being sponsored by Global Minga, Stand Up for Justice, which is us, Unify, Hubcast, and Sign Network. And this is a chance for all of us to sit there and be in this together at the LA Convergence on March 28th at the Wisdom.
See you there. Peace.
Peace.
Of course, you saw Pato and Antoinette on our show last week.
You can't
There's more. There's more there. But it's going to be amazing. And, because so many people are coming in from all over to Los Angeles for this one-day event on March 28th, we're all collaborating to make a whole week out of it. So Tuesday, March 28th is going to be the convergence that you just saw them talk about all afternoon and evening. On Wednesday, during the day, we're going to go out to Pato and Antoinette's land. We're going to have a land blessing. And in the evening, we're going to gather on Santa Monica Beach for a very special experience. And then Sri and Kira, who you've seen on this show quite a bit, are going to be, they're coming in from Ecuador. It's the first time that they've been in the United States since they left 12 years ago. And so on Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to, of course, see Pato and Antoinette, who you just saw right there. And then Sri and Kira are going to lead a whole series of experiences. They're bringing one of their leading shaman from Ecuador, and there's going to be a whole series of experiences that we're all kind of working on designing together. And we're turning it into a global peace tribe retreat. There's going to be music with some of our favorite Los Angeles musical artists, hoping that Larissa can join us. Bob and Pookie Lee, you've seen them on the show. They're going to be there. They're going to play music. And Omashar will be with us live. So we're putting together an entire week of experiences, starting on Tuesday, March 28th, and it'll go all the way through Sunday, April 2nd, maybe even to Monday, April 3rd. Connie and Andrew and Wowza are putting together a really special program that's going to be part of it. There's a lot happening that week. So now is the time to imagine coming to LA. This week, we're going to pull the trigger on a large house, similar to what we did when we had our Global Peace Tribe retreat in Sedona. We'll have a large house that many of us will stay in, somewhere in the West LA area. So again, if you're interested, let me know. We're putting together all the details, and we'll send out an email to all the people on our Global Peace Tribe retreat email, or our Global Peace Tribe email list. So again, if you haven't joined the Global Peace Tribe yet, do so now. Go to globalpeacetribe.com, globalpeacetribe.com, and register. Get the links to all of our shows, get on our email list so that we can follow up with you. I'll share a little bit about our upcoming shows towards the end, at the very end of the show. But I'm really excited about all of these things that we're doing, to be honest. We're also going to do a little bit of light touch at the retreat, and also a little bit of light touch tonight. But before any of that, Neil is an amazing producer, and we've all been enjoying the incredible things he's produced. Hundreds, I think I heard him say thousands of programs through Portal to Ascension. But he's also a brilliant spoken word artist. And I would love to turn it over to Neil because his spoken word is always very, very powerful. So take it away, brother.
Thank you so much, brother. All right, everybody. We're going to go on a journey together. And what I've been doing lately is I've been combining some music background to some of my poetry. So the last poem that I'm going to do is going to have some music, but there's going to be 3 a cappella. So there's 4 altogether. So I kind of want to just lay out the journey that we're going to take together. And, I've kind of owned lately that a lot of, I'm a rapper and I write lyrics. I'm going to the studio here in Mexico every other day, creating some songs. And I've tried to cultivate this joyous rap kind of stuff, but I realized a lot of my stuff is very dark, but it's not dark in the way that we look at evil. I kind of spoke on this a little earlier, or darkness is in bad. Darkness is in the depths of space, like the infinite black hole and the shadow world that we go within in order to remember who we truly are. So the darkness that we're going to be experiencing is the darkness that teaches us the beauty of the light, right? And something I love to say, which is that the most unconditional thing that the light ever did was allow the darkness to exist within it. The most unconditional thing the light ever did was allow the darkness to exist within it. The singularity burst into countless possibilities. The singularity burst into the duality that eventually became the light and the dark, that as it got denser and denser became the good and the evil. Do you think the singularity judges one part of itself over the other? Or does it love all of itself equally? So what we're going to do is I'm going to break down the poems that we're going to experience here and really just go on this journey together. So the first one is called The Global Delusion. And this one is kind of like an ego death, metaphoric expression of the death of the ego and the incarnation of this planet. And then basically it ends with the last breath. It's almost like we go through this cycle of incarnation. We go through these struggles and hardships, and how are we going to transcend these pains? We take our last breath and then we come back again. And then we're learning more experiences. So the first one is that. And then the second poem is kind of more of a technical poem called The Ancient Minds, which is more like a dimensional poem. And then we're going to go into Heaven Calls. And Heaven Calls is basically the call out to the heavens. Do you hear me? Do you see what's going on here? Can we wake up from this slumber? And then the last poem that we're going to do, I'll put with the music, and that's going to be Road to Zion. And that's going to be the taking it home back to what it's really all about after all these experiences. So I invite you all to just get present with me in this moment. Let's take some breaths. Keep your eyes open, lay down, keep your eyes closed if you want, whatever you want to, however you want to experience this. But you can take this as a journey or like a modality, if you will, where we can go through our own darkness, where we can transcend these just from listening to the words. So let's all just take a deep breath in together before we begin. Deep breath in through the nose. And exhale it out of the heart. We'll do 2 more. 1 more in through the nose. Exhale it out. 1 more time. the global delusion. A dark and delirious mind, delusional inside. Two voices that oppose each other, a conscious reminder to ease the mind. It's okay, Neil. It's okay to think. Let the mind wander. Let the villages get plundered. Devastation of the external, while inside there exists lightning and thunder. Faster than the speed of thought. I'm tired now to have continuously fought against myself for my entire life. The same rhetoric pushed down my side, a thorn in my own side. Just one of the many timelines in my soul's existence I will climb. Climbing higher, growing lighter. The fear of death. But this one is a fighter. Holding on, don't want to let go yet, having to recite the eightfold path precepts to keep balance amongst the cosmic dust that is on all of us. I gave up and then I remembered to take control of the linearity of minutes and hours. I devour worlds and spit out universes with the words that I speak, casting spells from the tongue, the last human since the beginning of creation. We have been here. Incarnated many times to shift the vibration from fear into love. That hasn't been fully experienced in this third dimension. I know why I exist. I know why I'm alive. I feel alive. But the dream is as powerful as death. I may just wake up to life as I take my last breath. It's my last breath. It's my last breath. It's my last breath. Let's all take a breath. From ancient minds, primitive minds involved into a sentient grind, purposeful drive, combat with hands to pry, it's never a straight line. Find a pathway back to the central mind, stairway to heaven riddled with signs, inform us to turn left or right, tunnel vision and peripheral sight. I was told to follow the white light. Upwards I climb, a dimensional incline. I left everything material except for my rhymes, which are ethereal. I see you through all the lenses that have been demented, distorted and bended, awaiting the day to be amended. Never will pretend to be something other than me. Something other than me. Something other than me. And what is it that we hear as we incarnate in this world where we transcend and experience so much fear? These densities that has kept us down into this world, ignoring, not being able to see the profound world that is going to emerge from the heavenly call that we can make to the universe right now. You know, I hear it. Heaven calls. Heaven calls from beyond the waterfall. From a twinkle in the eye, from a man standing 6 foot high, heaven calls from beyond the waterfall. Words, action, thoughts, ingrained in my brain, all the wishes to be superficially sane again, like these ants. Living, loving, talking, engaging, eating, walking, a bowl of grain that was picked by someone less than fortunate, maybe in sunshine or rain. Heaven calls! While I drown in the waterfall. And I beg for forgiveness from all. You see, for when I was small, I believed there was more to this planet, this universe, but there are only black holes. I realize I know nothing at all. Heaven calls, or is it just the writings on the walls, scriptures, prophecies, laws that make us believe that we're not alone in this planet, in this universe? God is in your homes. Heaven calls. Or is it just an echo in Earth's vast halls? I'm going to play the song now. World of calamity, with organized piety making people drop to it. We be the free. People see only right in front. Time for the peripheral narrow-minded ignorance. Be the bigger man and see the benevolence. The interdimensional energy of love holds my truth above other dimensions. I'm that anti-level vacuum being sucked down with the pull of a black hole. Recycle into universe that shows acceptance. Knows acceptance by accepting the predicament that we're all in. With all the government made me think I do is all I do is a sin. Great fear-mongering. Or right where the pen is show beginning to end. Just know we chose to be here. Their perceptions of fear. And remember, Jah will be waiting there. I know you forget monetary wealth. You concentrate on your health. I fell glass, stones pelt, my body was bloody, judgment by those who say they love me. But what does love mean? Within these lower frequencies of emotions causing mental erosions, I'm frozen in a rapidly moving time with holes in the heavens, flow of energy from realms of divine. Acid. 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 These beings, they think that we're under the guide to receive lessons of ascension. The gods we show, the biblical portrayal of Jesus and pagan rituals, the deities who we worship and bow, ask for forgiveness, and how can we reach the kingdom of heaven? Away from ourselves, looking externally for personified God, indemnified souls of the old ancestry of the duality of friends. Oh, know this, the energy level will persist. The New World Order doesn't matter one bit. No one world without singularity. Physical perceptions manifest in realms of spirituality. No order, pure anarchy to set all of humanity in 13 different third-dimensional planetary systems free! Follow me. We will all transcend. We will ascend. To the fourth density.
Let's go to gallery view and I'll twinkle this beautiful man. Also just total, such pure channeling, Neil. Neil, is there a place where we can get recordings of your spoken word?
I just released my first track on Spotify. It's called The Anunnaki. It's about the story of the Anunnaki. It's a rap song. And my spoken word album is going to come releasing on Spotify in 2 weeks. And I have like 5 different tracks with Tariq Bibi. Him and I are living right next door to each other in Mexico.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, we're creating music. And we got a divine masculine track, like a tantric kind of track. We have a sacred sexuality track coming out, and then a few other ones. And all of that's going to be on Spotify. You can check it out at MC Resonance is my MC name. MC Resonance.
You know, put that link into the chat box for us, please. And as soon as you have your album out, let's have you come on so we can let everybody know about it, especially because we love it as well.
Let's do it. Yeah, actually, I went on Fiverr and I hired a classical musician, piano, violin, and I gave him all my tracks. So the whole album is actually spoken word with classical instruments. Pretty awesome.
Wow, that's going to be beautiful. All right, well, I'm going to bring all your friends that are still with us, and we're going to take one more look at all the things that Portal to Ascension is doing. And imagine the chance to be able to be with all these people that are going to be at these events. And the first one, of course, is the San Diego event. And so I'm going to go to where you can get tickets. So again, you find everything, go to portaltoascension.org, or the tickets are at ascensionconference.com. Now, you said that the tickets are going to go up in price tomorrow. I think you probably timed it so that people, if they get tickets today, get a break. So tell us about that.
Well, actually, the early bird ended 3 days ago, and I changed it to the 6th because of this event. So I extended it for everybody.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Can I say something about the events? Is that all right? About Neil's events?
Yeah. Of course. Go for it, Laura.
One of the biggest things from doing this work now for, like over 20 years now that I've been hearing like for so long is how, and we definitely saw it like during 2020, 2021, even into 2022, is how people have felt like they couldn't find their own tribe and their own community. And what I love about Neil's events, about the Portal to Ascension events, is it's a place to find community. Yes, you learn so much. Yes, people get like amazing activations, downloads. They elevate their frequency, their vibe, their consciousness, like attendees so quickly at an accelerated path, at an accelerated pace. And yes, they get so much like information and knowledge and wisdom that's just not available in very many places at all. But really, it's so community oriented. That's really, and so if you're one of those people out there who feels like, you're around a lot of density, I hear that all the time. This is an event to come to, because you get, not only do you get so close up front and close with speakers and healers and other people who have been on the journey for a long time, but you'll meet so many, fellow family members, soul family tribe, and you'll make friends for life. It's just a wonderful gathering of community.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
Lori.
Yeah.
I'm going to clip that one over and over and over.
It's really one of the nicest things, like I've been to conferences and I love the conferences that I go to, and I always find community, but yours is so unique that way. It is so heart-centered in the sense of really bringing people together where everybody feels welcome, included, everybody recognizes. I can't speak for other people, but it's that vibe is there where everybody recognizes their own inherent value and worth simply because they're there, because they exist. They don't have to like prove themselves or, have like, it's just they show up and everybody feels like that welcome, included.
Accepted for being who they are.
Acceptance, yes. I think it's you create that. You do create that.
Well, like divide and conquer has been the name of the delusional game, right? And the only way to bring harmony to divide and conquer is the contrast of it, which is unity and collaboration. And that's why we're all like coming together more than ever now, because like a lot of us were even kind of lost in that matrix for some time. And now we're realizing, wow, the world needs to shift. This is not serving us. This is actually very toxic for all of us. And people are getting hurt and even dying from the way that we've created this reality, right? And we take responsibility for that. The only way to shift it, those that claim to have power, even though they're also reflections of us, have use the energy of exclusion with the same awareness that we have. The energy of inclusion is much more harmonic of a frequency than of that of exclusion. And that's what, I feel is like the foundation for the events we create.
Yeah. And can I say one other thing, since it's right after that Pluto shifts, that Pluto that we were talking about, the thing that's really significant about the Pluto shift, among so many things, is that it's the shifting of the old regime was born when Pluto was in the house of Leo, which represents the ultimate narcissist. And also that people born during that time they came into the awareness, like in order to survive, because they were coming out of this like whole, old dark, service to self reality. In order for them to survive, they had to take care of themselves. So now this shift that Pluto's making this time into Aquarius is now seven signs later, 7 houses later. And in a sense, what the 7 is significant in a year 7, 2023, is significance of coming into harmony and unity. It literally is the time when those people who were born during that era, they either have to change into spiritual consciousness or coming into harmony with one another, which, by the way, Pluto moving into this new house is symbolic of a whole new generation that will be born whole new generation is about to be born, that this new generation will have all their DNA that's been activated through bloodlines for like the last 15 years. They're going to have this already awakened. So what it means is that old regime has to change or else leave positions of power. We're seeing some of them transition out. So it's just not to reawaken that conversation, but it's just such an important time, because that's literally when this your portal to ascension in April is like literally just right.
Hey, that's so funny. Michelle knows this more than anyone, that every time we create an event, it's like right on point. We did a Pleiadian conference, a 2-day Pleiadian conference, and there was an alignment with the central star of the Pleiades the day before the conference.
Yeah.
And we had no
and,
idea.
and he never knows that up front. Same like me with the dolphin boats. I don't really know that that's what's happening. And then we find out later, and what it does is gives us a sense of, wow, I really listened to the inner voice and was guided, and know that we're doing this for a reason, you know, for all of us, for all of humanity to go through this shift together. And I have to say, you know, meeting Neil and seeing what Neil has done and the way Neil has brought all of us together has been so uplifting, because he's really giving others permission to embody unity consciousness. And Scott, you do that as well. Alan, Larissa, oh my gosh, you know, it's like, I get goosebumps thinking about how we're all coming together, and there's no hierarchy involved. It's just pure hearted love that is going to see us through this great shift of the ages. And it feels so good to be here with everyone this, you know, Saturday night in our own homes, but looking at each other, feeling each other, loving each other. It just feels so good to be together, and knowing that we can do it in person as well. That's really anchoring a lot of light on the planet. And I'm just really looking forward to it. Glastonbury, another thing about the Glastonbury dates that wasn't mentioned is it's also during the Perseid meteor showers. That time is when the Perseid meteor showers happen. And I'm usually guided to be like in Joshua Tree or Mount Shasta or somewhere during that time. But wow, to be in Glastonbury, woo, that sounds really, I don't know. I think a lot of us feel that heart call, because you're putting it out there. It's like a clarion call.
It would be so much fun for all of us to be in Glastonbury together.
Yeah, it
It's
really
definitely in my
feels like
conscience.
that.
It's happening every year. I've already committed to doing it there following year too. So yeah.
All right, so one last time, everybody, you can get all the details by going to portaltoascension.org. And then for the things we've been talking about, just click where it says in-person conferences and tours. So there's San Diego in April, Glastonbury in August, and we have not talked about Egypt yet. So Neil, tell us a little bit about Egypt in September.
I would love Alan to jump in here and start off.
Egypt is the mother of spirituality and Western civilization. It all goes back to Mother Egypt, which goes back to Atlantis, which is the beginning of our incarnational experience here as beings. So we're journeying back to these stargates. These are stargates that were left as markers in time and space. So we are going to be in these ancient temples, and it's going to culminate in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid, which is a dimensional doorway. It's a portal to ascension. If there is one on the planet, it is there. We're going to be up and down the Nile, the Temple of Isis, the Temple of Hathor, Karnak, led by JJ and Desiree Hertog, who've been there over 20 times. In about 10 years ago, they found the tomb of Osiris, which was levels and levels beneath the Giza Plateau. So we're going to do meditations inside the ports of the Sphinx. We're going to do a 4-night cruise on the Nile. We're going to be activated at this time of 2023 as Pluto enters Aquarius, as everything comes online. We're going to be at the source of it all for consciousness evolution. That's my feeling. So,
all right, everybody. And you can find that at on Portal to Ascension or go to EgyptAscensionRetreat.com. And of course, JJ and Desiree are brilliant. You've seen them on this show. Oh my gosh, this is incredible, Neil and Alan, all that you guys have put together.
10 days, 11 nights. It's epic, you know. I've been to Egypt before, but I remember it was like 30 years ago, but every single moment of that trip has stayed with me from 30 years. So I'm looking forward to revisiting.
Yeah, it's gonna be like an initiation. Honestly, like that's why I wanted you to jump in and speak about it, because I'm at a loss for words about the experience that we're cultivating. Every single time I look at it and see what we've come up with, an itinerary, who's showing up there, a lot of like even some presenters and speakers that are going around spreading their awareness to coming there. We have like such an amazing group of people coming. And then the Hertags, not only are they like into actual historical records, right, and a true history, and into the archaeology of humanity, but also our Ascension teachers. So it's like the perfect balance of all aspects of really looking at Egypt. So I'm just really excited. It's also the beginning of something Alan and I have been talking about for like 3 years, which is starting a tour company, doing tours to ancient sites. So it's the first one we're doing. The following year, we're going to go to like Petra and Malta. So yeah, this is really exciting for us.
Yeah, it's another level of this global community and bringing people to sacred sites, but also meeting people in our whole British community is there, ready to welcoming the U.S. community. And it just makes a bigger and bigger family. It's like we become the superorganism. That's what we're doing.
Michelle, you muted.
Muted, unmute.
Sorry about that. When everybody is together at these different sites, because I've done this myself as well, and I know Lori Wheeler has done it, magic happens. There's something that happens when you go to a site like this, and the people who feel the heart call to be there, they just know they have to be there, and it becomes an assignment. It's like the universe is saying your presence is requested or your presence is required, because something in our DNA is aligning with whatever is going on at that time on those particular ley lines. I've experienced it. There's just magic that happens. I mean, in 2012, when 12/21/12 happened, and I heard very clearly that I had to be at Island of the Sun on Lake Titicaca in the morning, but in the evening, I had to take this group to Puma Punka. It was like planes, trains, and automobiles or something to get from one place to the other. But it felt like something really important was locking into place with each one of us, aligning with other groups around the world that felt the heart call. It was almost like we were given an assignment and we said yes. So you said yes, and I applaud each of you for saying yes to being there. It's a really important time right now to usher in this new age.
Yeah, the age of Aquarius, and the Sphinx was facing the age of Leo, so we've come half around this great year, but it's a whole elevation, the Aquarian age. It's really what we're entering. Right. I just smile there, Larissa.
Larissa. Well, speaking of Larissa, we're past 3 hours. Show, but it's been fantastic. Neil, Alan, congratulations on everything you've created. Michelle, you're so eloquent and beautiful. And we are going to conclude with some Larissa Stowe magic. Jay Mayer sent me the video. He knew that she was going to be on the show tonight. And he said, Scott, do you remember that great video she did of My Sweet Lord? And it was one of the first things I saw on my cell phone this morning. So I kind of played it while I was becoming a human being again in bed. And it's so gorgeous. So I said, Larissa, can we play that again tonight? And she said, yes. So Larissa, tell us a little bit about the video we're about to see.
Our beloved Bethany Grace that you have had on the show, she had this just incredible vision of the heart about bringing together Shakti Tribe and the Hutchins Consort and all these amazing musicians for it to be like the we space. Like we're talking about that, like coming together, different different vibrations of love just coming together. And George Harrison, come on. My Sweet Lord is such an incredibly heart-opening song. And as a child, it was one of my all-time favorite songs.
Mm.
I didn't even know why I was so attracted, to the Hare Krishnas and the chanting at the time. But I've come to understand it's always been on the inside of myself. So I just love George Harrison, love this song. It just opens us up so much.
All right. Well, you did a beautiful job, and I'm really looking forward to sharing it again with our audience. Here we go.
My sweet Lord, oh my Lord, my sweet Lord, I really wanna see you, I really wanna be with you, I really wanna see you, Lord, but it takes so long, my Lord, my sweet Lord. Take long, my love, my sweet Lord, hallelujah, my Lord, hallelujah, my sweet Lord, hallelujah, I really want to see you.
Oh,
Who's crying? Who cried? What? Oh my gosh.
That is a heart opener. That is the portal to ascension, Larissa. You did it. You just.
I have to say we did it because that wasn't just a me. That was a very big we.
a very big we. A lot of people involved in that project.
Yeah.
And so many people we love. Valerie Romanoff and Benj and, of course, Bethany and, oh my God, Christo.
Richard Hardy and Cristo Pilates.
Cristo, yeah.
But you put something into that, Larissa, I hadn't seen in your other performances. There was something that just opened up in me looking at you there. Yes. Yes.
Well, what an amazing global peace tribe, portal to ascension, Weevolution, new realities, all the ways that we're coming together, the Ascension radio codes. It's just beautiful how we're all weaving together. And I do want to let people know a little bit about what's coming up. Tomorrow on the Sacred Sunday show, we're kind of completing this weekend where we've been talking about angels, aliens, and altered states. We have a best-selling author with us, Beth Bell, and she's great. I really enjoyed my pre-interview with her. And then Star Kamal is coming back, and we're going to really be talking about microdosing and the do's and don'ts and ways to get elevated that are appropriate and healthy. And then next week, we've got a wonderful show planned. Johanna Beekman, who of course Larissa knows really well, I asked her to do a variation on the song, instead of All You Need Is Love. I'm a strong believer it should be Do Everything with Love. And she created this wonderful song and video for your Global Peace Tribe. And so we're going to do an entire show around that theme. And so next week, it's all about doing everything with love. And we've got some great guests, including Terry Russo, who's in the show right now because she's a nurse representing, the caregivers that do things with love. Of course, Johanna's going to be back with us. Eden Amador, I know she's a good friend of yours, Larissa. She's my co-host next week. Omashar will be playing music. Johanna's friend, Sherry Howard. And then two people that I'm staying with in Sedona, Babadez Nichols and Sasha Hareen will be with us. All about how we can do everything with love. Oh, and Scarlett Rivera. Now, many of you know her as an amazing musical artist who played with Bob Dylan, but she's also an animal activist. So we're going to really be looking at all the different aspects of life and how to do things with love. So that's next weekend. I'm losing my voice. Thank you, Neil, Michelle, Larissa, everybody who's watching. I love it. We still have 60 people in the Zoom room with us, and whoever's watching on Facebook. So,
Scott, can I take a moment, just a 30 seconds real quick, and just say thank you so much, brother, for not only just having allowing us to have the space to just communicate what we're doing, right? But just being you and holding down this space for us. And I would love if you can just receive all of us who feel compelled to just to give you energy and gratitude into your heart for all that you do and who you are and all you're going to continue to do for us. So thank you, brother. And this is just all love for you, man. Thank you so much.
well, thank you, Neil. I'm feeling that. My heart, literally, I'm feeling sensations in my heart right now. So thank you for that.
Appreciate you.
How blessed we all are. All right, everybody, have a great evening. I hope to see you on tomorrow's Sacred Sunday show. And thank you, everybody. I see all the chat coming in as well. God's blessings. Love you all, and see you tomorrow morning. And I'm going to see Larissa Stowe in a few days here in Sedona. I'm so excited. Take care, everybody. Good night.
Bye, everybody.